that are being advocated by the left do in fact destroy a child's future fertility. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
I'm Amy Beth Schaefer with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
A Jackson County man has entered a guilty plea to charges of shooting a K-9 unit connected with the Moss Point Police. This all occurred back in 2022. Richard J. McGuire also entered other guilty pleas to further crimes. He will spend a decade behind bars for the guilty pleas. The K-9 unit that was shot is named Buddy, and he has made a full recovery and is still serving at the Moss Point Police Department. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, from the moment we pick up the phone, you will hear the difference. We are passionate about what we do. To us, you're not just another applicant. When you call on us, you are trusting that we have your best interest at heart, and we do. We treat our customers like family, and that's why our customers turn into family, coming back to us time and time again. We know you have many options when it comes to mortgage financing, and we appreciate the opportunity to earn your business. We are excited to hear from you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our passion is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers.
It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
Joey Clark.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and a Happy New Year.
Welcome into the program. Online, we call this show Joey Clark Live. Here on terrestrial radio, we call it News and Views in the afternoon. Very original name. Eddie Bader's in the studio with me. How you doing today, Eddie?
I'm here, buddy. How you doing?
Oh, Merry Christmas to you, you filthy animal.
Not quite that season yet.
Although, come on.
Although, we do have a parade coming up.
Yeah, on Saturday.
Right, our parade.
Like midday in Millbrook. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, on Main Street in Millbrook.
Yep.
I've never been in a parade.
Really? This will be like my fourth or fifth time in that parade.
Okay. Nice.
Years ago, we had a pizza business there in Millbrook. Crazy story. And my my grandmother at the time, she was in her mid-80s, I said, come do the Christmas parade with us. And we'll ride in the pizza truck and we'll have the sign on the top and all that.
Yeah.
So she's having a great time and she's waving. She's like, it's like you're famous or something. And she's waving, everybody, like she's just in a parade. She just had the time of her life.
It's like you're famous.
Because people are screaming, pizza man, pizza man.
So we're going to be there. In the Blue Water Broadcasting Sprinter, is what they call it?
Sprinter van.
Yeah. Be waving.
Yeah, waving.
I don't know how Christmassy will be, because it is early still. I'm trying to get in the mood.
I got a short sleeve Christmas shirt. I'm going to at least bring that. So.
Okay.
And I think I might have a Santa hat.
Ooh. I'd buy one like every year. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll make sure we have some Santa hats. We have to be at least that festive.
But I'm trying to get in the Christmas spirit.
It's hard, ain't it?
No, I'm trying to buy stuff that I don't need. That's like
that
Christmas oriented.
Christmas spirit?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Reese's cups that are Christmas trees?
Or like way too many ugly Christmas sweaters.
Dude, I've seen where you can get them custom made now.
Mm-hmm.
Some really good ones.
I might have some coming. I might want to have one for you. I don't know.
Bowie.
Yeah. Anyway, joining us as she does every Thursday, we have Erica Thomas, editor-at-large there at 1819news.com. Erica, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. I wish y'all could see my sweaters that I've gotten for Christmas this year. They're beautiful. They're actually more like sweatshirts, but man,
Yep.
they're hilarious. I can't even tell you about them on the radio. I'll have to send you a picture.
I was about to say, can you give me a short description, but maybe not. Okay.
There's a Donald Trump figure on one of them, and it's like from the Christmas Vacation movie, which I always watch. And, you know, it's the part where he's standing in front of the RV and releasing the stuff out of it.
Oh, yes, because it's full.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yes.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Cousin Eddie. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
And I'm showing Eddie the 3 that I picked up.
These are very nice.
Yeah, they're like rock and roll theme, but then one is like true traditional tacky sweater.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like it's fun. Like I when I saw Santa in sunglasses rocking a Les Paul guitar, I'm like, okay, I'm buying that shirt.
That's a good one.
That sweatshirt. So, is there anything in particular that you do to help get you into the mood of Christmas, other than I buy things I don't need, for it, and I'm trying to buy more for others, not be such a Scrooge. But any traditions that you do?
Yes. My favorite thing is decorating, and I'll say just doing my tablescape every year really puts me into the spirit, and I will decorate all day inside and out. Sometimes it takes me a couple of days, and I'll just listen to Christmas music, and it really puts me in the spirit. And so I've been there since before Thanksgiving. I've been ready for this season.
Well, and I know you in particular, because sometimes you find stories that are just, in cover stories, they're just heartbreaking. So you need the good Christmas stuff, I know, just for your own personal mental health. But I hate to even bring it up, but it's a story it's a top story there at 1819news.com right now. There's a continuing search off the coast, off of Dauphin Island, for a 7-year-old boy. But before we get to that in particular, for folks who don't know this story, what's happened here?
So this is yesterday, about a mile off of the coast. They found parts of a boat that they had been looking for since Friday. So on Friday, two men and a little boy went out on a shrimping trip. And it was little boy Hunter Slavak. It was his first shrimping trip ever. So they were really excited. And his dad, Mike, who happens to be a teacher and a coach at Sims Middle School, was with them. They were supposed to come back Friday afternoon, but they never returned. So search crews got out, just from all over South Alabama. Aaliyah, Saraland, just Monroe County. People came from all over. Even the United Cajun Navy has been a part of this search, which is really interesting that they came up to do this. But the two bodies of the men were found Saturday, about 9 miles from where the boat was found yesterday. But they still haven't found the body of little Hunter. And they do say that right now this is a recovery effort and not a rescue mission anymore. But when I was down there yesterday, I was with Sheriff Paul Birch in Mobile County, and I was there when he got the call that he needed to go speak with the mother that they found the boat. And you could see the emotion in his face, and just that this has been so difficult for even him. Somebody that's been in law enforcement and deals with sad, tragic things a lot. You could tell that this particular situation has just weighed a lot on him, because there's a mother and a wife now that's left alone with her. She has 4 other children, all girls.
Wow.
But the 2 boys, the man and the little boy, they're gone. And it's just, there's a real need to bring home this child for his mother and his siblings for closure, really.
Yeah. At least so they can be buried together. And I've got pulled up here on the stream the photo y'all found of the father and son, and Man, that's heartbreaking. Hate to hear that.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how careful you need to be, even right off the coast there. I've been out with my own father, and if you're, I don't know, stuff can happen. Usually it's fine, but something can happen occasionally. And everybody say an extra prayer for that mother, for that now widow. Wow.
Definitely.
Like I said, we need the Christmas spirit. But how about this? This is a herky-jerky transition. Let's go to something completely absurd and completely self-inflicted. You wrote this up, I guess, near the beginning of the week. Woman charged after allegedly crashing vehicle into Staten Prison gate to deliver contraband. She crashed into the prison gate?
Yeah, and I don't know if you saw her shirt that she has on in her mugshot on 1819news.com.
I'm looking at it now. It says Born to Ride right over the strategically placed?
Oh, yeah, and she sure did ride. She rode right into the prison gate, allegedly. Yes, this lady, she's actually from Kentucky. Her name is Heather Young, 39 years old. That's my age. But she decided to make a special delivery, apparently, to the prison. And when she crashed into the gate, obviously, security and police responded. But she fled the scene, so they didn't find her until a little bit later. And they finally got her pulled over and took her into jail. And now she's on the other side of the gate, so to speak, charged with first and second degree promoting prison contraband, because after the crash they found some kind of container full of contraband at the prison. She's also charged with unlawful possession of a controlled substance and second degree criminal mischief.
Do we know what the substance is? Do we want to speculate and guess?
It could be anything from meth, maybe.
I was thinking she looks a little too thick for meth.
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe it's
well, that could be. It could be marijuana, but I would say, my guess is meth. I'm just guessing. But,
from the behavior, yeah.
Well, and also, methamphetamines is really growing in popularity again. Like police say, it's all over the place. Again.
God.
So it's really causing a lot of issues. Which I did a story on that kind of thing last week. I wasn't on with you, but not only methamphetamine, but also amphetamines is now a bigger deal. And in particular, prescribed Adderall could be the next drug epidemic. So that's another interesting one to check out.
Yeah, no, go more into that because, I'll admit in my college career, it was readily available. Anytime you needed to study up, there was always a mistake of taking too much. You weren't studying squat. You were studying that spot on the wall for hours. And it was almost like a common thing being passed around by like candy. And don't get me started on law schools and medical schools. So how could this become
really
the next drug epidemic?
See, I did not experience that in my college career, but that is kind of exactly what these experts are saying. A lot of times an Adderall addiction starts in college because these kids are taking it, like you said, to stay up and study. But the interesting fact is, if you have ADHD, yes, you need the medication. It's very helpful. If you do not have ADHD, it actually is going to do the opposite of what you want it to do. Yeah, you might be staying up, but you're not going to actually digest the information the way that you would probably want to. And so that is what the experts say. They say it's just better to, do the good old-fashioned way of studying. But one thing is people are actually dying from overdoses, or in one case, I know in Jefferson County this year, a person killed themselves after taking Adderall. And the coroner, I talked to the coroner there, and he said this is directly related to Adderall. This person was addicted. Their family confirmed that. But addiction experts in law enforcement are definitely keeping a close eye on this. We don't want to see what happened with with the opioid epidemic happen with this Adderall issue. But the screening for ADHD, doctors really have to be careful and not just listen to a patient say, oh, I can't really concentrate, I got brain fog. You need to make sure that Adderall is the medication they need, because that is definitely how these health professionals tell me this becoming a problem. People are just, there was a shortage a couple of years ago of Adderall. It's becoming widely used.
Well, it can be abused like anything else, and you're right. It's one thing to really need it, to get a dialed-in exact dosage from the doctor. I've known people who've been prescribed that sort of thing, and for actually needing it, and even then, it can be too much, or you're getting too reliant on it. It's pretty dangerous, I think, to even mess with. And if somebody's abusing it, taking a huge dose, even grinding it up, snorting it, these sorts of things, it's going to be acting like, something like meth. Man, it's like
if
these.
you don't have a prescription, it is illegal to take that. So do not do it.
Oh yeah, well, it's just amazing how the way we treat drugs in this country is just remarkable. Especially, I think at this point, just look at the opioid epidemic. It starts with big pharma. It starts with the so-called legal drugs, and I think we're seeing this with a lot of things. Like, everybody gets hooked on it, then maybe people get wise in the medical community. Oh, we got to pull back. Well, you still got thousands, if not millions, of people addicted. What are they going to do now?
Right. And the sad thing is, people actually do need these drugs. These drugs, even opioids, are incredible pain relievers. It's a miracle drug for some people. But now doctors are terrified to prescribe these things because, one, they're scared they're going to face consequences, if someone gets addicted. But also, they don't want their patients to get addicted. Real good doctors don't want to do that. So, I have an example. I had major back surgery in February. I'm 2.5 inches taller, as you know, so it was that big of a surgery. And I did not get any medication for 12 hours after surgery, nothing. And so I finally said, when I was ready to see Jesus, I said, can I please, why are y'all not giving me anything? And they said, oh, you have to specifically ask for it.
Oh, God.
So after I get out of surgery, I'm supposed to say, I specifically want all this stuff.
I want what Michael Jackson had, but the right dosage.
Whatever. Before surgery, I was kind of like, I don't want to be put on a lot of stuff, but I never had anything in my IV. It was all oral medication after surgery, but that is a sign that, we're going a little too far at this point. You got to give people medicine after you have that kind of surgery.
Yeah,
and I just thought it was really sad.
It's like we're trying to have the rules and regs take responsibility for us instead of us, especially professionals, using discernment, taking their own responsibility. And then it comes down to you, the patient. If you know you have an addictive tendency or this feels way too good, you need to get on top of that real quick because it can get out of hand real quick.
Definitely, yeah.
Shifting gears, because, a big trending thing on X today is people calling Joni Ernst. Is she the new Liz Cheney? Does she deserve the Liz Cheney treatment? And it's all over her saying, I had a very frank and tough discussion with Pete Hegseth. Well, one of Alabama senators, I think Tuberville, came out yesterday and said he's strong support of Hegseth. And it looks like Katie Britt is going to actually meet with Hegseth, and she didn't seem as tough on him as, say, Joni Ernst was.
Well, she hasn't talked to him yet, so we'll see. But she will probably, ask some important questions. But she did seem that she has a positive stance on this possibility. She said she's ready to get the Department of Defense back on track. So she's sitting down with him next week. She's already sat down with some of Trump's nominees throughout this past week. But her meeting with Hegseth will be next week. She didn't say which day. But yeah, she seems pretty positive about it. She said she wants the department to get back to instead of focusing on liberal ideology, to focus on, safety for not only the United States, but the planet, she says. We'll see what happens.
We'll see, and I guess I'll have to play some of this Kudlow clip coming up here. Well, I always appreciate the work you're doing, especially the tough stuff. I don't think I personally have the heart to do that sort of stuff. So thank you for your reporting on all these issues. If folks want to check out what you're writing about, think about, or if they want to, say, send you a lead, how can they do so?
Yeah, you can go to 1819news.com, and all of our stories are there every day. We post twice a day, sometimes more than that, if there's breaking news. But whoever writes the story, their email address is at the bottom of that story. So you can click on that. You can email us, contact us directly, or you can also email news@1819news.com.
Beautiful. Well, I appreciate it as always, Erica. We'll do it again soon.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless. Again, Erica Thomas, their editor-at-large at 1819 News. Be sure to check out 1819news.com. I do, and I know more and more folks are.
Yeah, well, yeah, big time.
I mean, 1819 News clearly has a perspective that has not been around in the state, at least in the media.
Quite some time.
But here's the good thing. We got a call yesterday. Who was it? Who was really stumping for Montgomery? Sandy.
Yeah.
She's reading 1819.
Yeah, she is.
Everybody is.
Yep.
Because there is reporting that's just straight up there. Like, yes, the site has a perspective, but the straight news reporting is straight news reporting. Just the facts. And I appreciate not just Erica's work. Craig Monger will be joining us again on Friday.
Yeah.
Look forward to see Craig. And so much of the work they do. Caleb Taylor, great guy, covers a lot of Montgomery stories. So if you want to definitely get that Montgomery area, River Region area, Caleb Taylor and Craig Monger are the ones really covering this neck of the woods. And I think there is a lot of plans to keep expanding. And one thing I think that will make Alabama stronger, it's something I agree with the founder of 1819 News wholeheartedly on, Brian Dawson, is you do have to do the work of helping people realize that they have an identity as Alabamians. And it's not just the Iron Bowl, which is a big part of it. And the beauty is it's not like 1819 News or any other organization has to create an identity out of whole cloth. No, that's the wrong way to go about it. You just sort of recognize and remind people and help knit together all the things that are going on in our state. And slowly over time, I think people will start to realize, oh, this is what we are. And the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right.
There is a lot of ugly going on in the state. It's not everybody, but it's enough folks to where it's just issue. But, a lot of great things going on, too. I think if I was trying to bring a foreigner in, well, using that term in the first place is, how dare you? Somebody who ain't from here.
Americans are the only ones that get offended by that term.
I know. Yeah, you're right. Yankee go home.
Thank you.
Eddie heard it many a time during his childhood. But if you wanted to bring somebody in for like a Thanksgiving or a Christmas, wouldn't it be great to have a truly unique Southern sort of hospitality spin on that? So I think we have a great state. We got a lot of problems, especially in our politics.
Most states do.
We got a lot of poverty in certain areas. We need to develop a lot more. But I always enjoy the perspective and appreciate being on the team there. I write for a weekly column for them. I really appreciate kind of the vision that's going on there at 1819news.com. Now, do you want to just listen to this Senator Brett clip real quick?
Sure.
Yeah, well, why not? You okay?
I got some stuff I got to take care
of. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm good. Let's listen to Brit. I love some Brit. You know that?
Yes, I do. We're so stupid. No, this is with Larry Kudlow. Let's listen to it.
Okay.
I was the very first one to sit down with Elise Stefanik. That went incredibly well. Got to sit down with Doug Collins at the VA, so excited about that. And excited to sit down with all of the nominees. Sat down with Lee Zeldin yesterday. The American people said, we want change. They see his vision. They want his agenda enacted. President Trump is selecting individuals that will help him enact that agenda. So I am meeting with Pete next week. I look forward to sitting down, hearing his vision for the department, how he's going to get the department back to, instead of being focused on liberal ideology, actually being focused on making sure that our men and women in uniform are the best trained, equipped, and ready across the planet. And I am excited about being able to move forward and get the Defense Department back on track.
272-9228. I don't think Senator Britt's going to be causing any issues here. I think she's on board for the most part.
Yeah.
Her and, of course, Tuberville. Coach is
100%.
all about it. And there's another thing with Senator Britt that caught my eye.
Yeah.
Senator Katie Britt, this is from Politico, wants to be a bridge between appropriators and President-elect Donald Trump's so-called Department of Government Efficiency effort. She wants to be part of DOGE. She wants to work with DOGE. Saying, quote, I think it's important to have appropriators at the table as we look at opportunities for making things better. Which is like, I mean, why not, Senator and congressmen up there, and it's going to take all of y'all to kind of agree to this. What if we just make, like, for like 6 months, empower DOGE to make all the decisions? That would be radical. It's not going to happen.
No, it'd be cool for a little
But
bit.
it's like Elon and Vivek get to decide pretty much everything for like 6 months. Now, like co-counsel, or that's the wrong example. People be thinking like
They had a big
dictatorship.
meeting yesterday, right? Vivek and Musk and the council, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people were Republicans are turned on, right? I
Oh,
thought-
yeah, man.
I thought-
Even Bernie Sanders came out
I saw
yesterday.
that. Well, he was pro-Canada, turning them into the 51st state, as long as we took over their crappy welfare healthcare system. But yeah. But I thought, honestly, some rhinos would come out in that meeting, but no, there seemed to be no pushback whatsoever.
So it's like maybe it's a new day in Washington, but I'm still skeptical.
Me too. I think that
I'm
steamroller,
very
though,
skeptical.
I think some people are eyeballing that steamroller. You either get with the program or you'll get runt over.
272-9228. You're going to get runt
over.
You
ain't never been runt over?
No.
I could tell.
Have you?
Oh, yeah.
By what?
Football?
Oh, yeah. I've been hitting a football game before. And
Just runt over? Where they just,
oh,
you
yeah.
literally.
I thought you meant by like a Greg Budell, like a motor
Oh,
vehicle.
no.
Like
He's
an
the only
automobile.
He's the only guy I know that's been hit by like 4 vehicles.
Yeah, 2 cars, like a bus.
A bus.
Yeah, and he's still alive to tell the tale.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, I remember I got hit by a bus and then I had to go finish my reporting. It's like, what?
This part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing, and they're at Cole Plumbing. They can help you before you get runt over by a plumbing problem. My goodness. Like, if you especially have a big old leak inside or outside your home, you do not need to wait. And Cole Plumbing understands time is of the essence when you have that emergency. And they have this proprietary pipelining technology that allows them with minimal discomfort to you and your home to get in there and solve the problem. Which, what does that mean practically? It means they're not going to have to tear out a bunch of drywall inside.
Correct.
To find the leak and fix it. They're not going to have to dig up a huge hole or, God forbid, a trench in your yard trying to find the leak. No, with precision and expertise, they can get the job done. They can also help you with everyday plumbing problems from clogged drains to low water pressure. Do you smell gas? Maybe you smell...
This time of year, you really want to keep that nose open for that.
Yeah. Or it could be one upgrade, say a tankless water heater system, or install new accessories in the bathroom or the kitchen. They can help you there at Cole Plumbing. So check them out today. You can always go to coleplumbing.com or give them a call, 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Simpler days.
Hey, Simpler Days. How you doing?
Joey, you can relate with the runt over. You know, many a good Auburn man got runt over in Auburn by a runaway hay wagon.
Like, when are you bringing things up? What are you bringing things? You trying to start something today?
No. I come with peace. I come with.
Okay.
That's a heck of a peace offering.
Well, if we come in peace, I hope your sister wife's for it.
Well, she is all progressive. But anyway, hey, what happened to the breaking news about the Redwater Park, also known as Whitewater? The breaking news, it came across yesterday on this very station. Are you aware of that?
I'll be honest, I'm not. Dude.
No, not really.
I'm not.
Well, it was on several of the local TV stations, and it was on this station yesterday. But bottom line is, the county commission is going to have to fork out $2 million to bail out the Redwater hole down there because the city says we're not putting any more money into it.
Yeah, maybe I forgot this happened yesterday because I was, a month or two ahead of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're short like 2.4, 2.5 million just in operating costs.
So if it's not going to make it.
And I was asking, that's why I was asking Andrew Szymanski, not yesterday, but the last month.
Go, yeah.
I was going to ask the mayor. We were supposed to have him on, and that didn't materialize for some reason. So good. I'm glad the city, but I believe Doug Singleton's kind of calling folks out, like the city's not doing enough to support our great project.
Well, they all stood together in unity at the ribbon cutting down there, and you had
That was a good day.
Terry Sewell, you had all of the I Am Somebody crowd with the big scissors cutting the ribbon. But now the rats are starting to scatter. And when the financial audit comes, you're going to see where the money trail leads. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Appreciate
See you,
it. Several
bud.
days. Yeah, and there's a lot of scuttlebutt behind the scenes, good and bad, about the water park. Folks stumping for it, folks against it.
Well, we just got some new features down there, right?
I think there is this whole economic development idea. It's something.
You build it, they will come.
Yeah, but it's so hand in hand with every person in the know, in the cool kids club. I'm somebody important club. Yep. Yeah, I'm all for the idea of, say, like economic freedom zones where you literally go, no major regs, no taxes. Like, we'll set up, we want to build a town, for instance. We want to build it quickly. I'm all for stuff like that. But when it becomes like this project that doesn't seem economically sustainable, oh, it's just a cost of building something here. That's when folks get a little suspicious.
A lot of people feel they were duped.
So we'll see. Like, yeah, we knew that about a month ago. Like, they're $2 million plus short.
When they broke ground.
Yeah, well, that too. The other folks knew it even before then.
Yep.
Like, don't get Boomer T to call up again. He's been seeing it for years.
Yeah.
Don't make him call up here and have to rant again about everything he's seen. Because he's seen a lot.
He's seen a lot, yep.
Love you, Boomer T.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. I got to get Senator Brett off the computer. I feel like
she's got some pretty pearly whites.
I got a feeling like that's going to, through the photo, put a hex on us or something. 272-9228. Merry Christmas.
Wish we could get her to ride in the van with us. That'd be fun.
Yeah, we're not that big time, though. Maybe we can get Coach.
Well, that'd be cool, too.
That'd be great.
Dude,
we're not that big
I'd
time.
get him to throw me the football.
Yeah,
I'm
I
open,
think.
Coach.
Can he catch?
I will that day.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not. I'll probably be the biggest fumble fingers ever.
That's why I played cornerback.
Yeah, defense guy. It's a lot easier.
272. And I've got somebody say, God, I hope Boomer T calls. Texting me that right now. Man, because it is interesting. Somebody's owned businesses in the area for a while, seen the changes, say, in Montgomery, in that particular part of Montgomery, who kind of knows that inside scoop. I mean, some of this I write up to, it is differences of personality, it's differences in interests, it's differences in businesses. Like, so there's always going to be different factions and whatever. That's fine, and you might not like it, but the larger question of is there something rotten here that has to be done before you really accuse anybody? I think that has to be done in a very systematic way. And so maybe we'll see an audit. Maybe.
I'd love to, though. It'd be great.
Yeah. How about this? Let's hit a break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back, folks. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.
When you need a new door or window replaced, you want it done right. Someone who delivers expert craftsmanship every time, experience is a must. Listen, Davis Door and Sash. They can show you new doors and windows that can help you lower your utility bills and boost energy efficiency. Davis Door and Sash, Alabama.com or call 334-288-6010. Davis Door and Sash, the perfect fit for your home.
Put the power of Action 8 News in the palm of your hand. Download the free Action 8 News app to stay on top of breaking news wherever you are. Search for WAKA News in your app store to download the Action 8 News app today. Keep your family safe by watching Action 8 News. Look for 8 on Your Side consumer alerts with product recalls involving cars, food, children's toys, and other items in your home. 8 on Your Side, keeping you safe only on Action 8 News.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to HIMSS.com/joy.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. Babbel is designed with you in mind. From expert-created lessons to conversational video units and even live classes, you can personalize your Babbel experience to be exactly what you need to really learn a new language more easily. Go ahead, set a goal for yourself. Accomplish it with Babbel. Try Babbel for free. Go to BABBEL.com. That's Babbel.com.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Jason with Wholesale Hunter. We've been advertising with Blue Water for a while now. We have great results with them. Appreciate everything they do with us.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Well, hi, everybody. We have a cold front moving through, the risk of showers moving out, with clouds eventually giving way to sunshine today with a high of 56. Then windy and colder later on in the afternoon and Thursday night, back to the 20s. I've got us around 27 by morning, but the wind chill factor could reach the upper teens. Then Friday is a brisk day with sunshine, high around 49, 50, back to the 20s on Friday night. Saturday is a big parade day with sunshine, high 56. Little warmer, maybe 65 on Sunday. The next significant chance of rain begins overnight Sunday night into Monday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans get you where you need to go. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you or apply online today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. And it looks like the ceasefire in Israel is holding between Israel and Hezbollah, at least.
They're testing
for the
limits.
time being. It's holding a little bit.
Yeah.
It also looks like Doge here back in our country. Doge is starting to ramp up more and more, which I love.
Yeah.
Mitt Romney's giving his farewell speech.
Love that.
You don't want to listen to that?
If it gets him out the door faster, yeah.
I don't know if it'll actually get him out the door faster, but I'll listen to that on 2X if we can get him out as quick as possible. As quick as possible. But here's one clip I want to go to before we change the subject too much, because this more stands on its own.
Okay.
Of a problem with Washington, D.C. There's been 2 assassination attempts on President Trump in the last 6 months. You remember that?
Yeah. I think I know where you're going.
Well, acting Secret Service director, his name is now Ronald Rowe.
Mm-hmm.
He's currently yelling at members of Congress during a hearing.
Yep.
Let's check this out. Let's see what the new acting director of the Secret Service has to say.
Special agent in charge of the detail. Were you the special agent in charge of the detail that day? Actually, let me address this. Could you please, staff, leave that? Oh, no, leave that one up with the circle around me. Thank you. So actually, Congressman, what you're not seeing is the sack of the detail out of the picture's view. And that is the day where we remember the more than 3,000 people that have died on 9/11. I actually responded to Ground Zero. I was there going through the ashes of the World Trade Center. I was there at Fresh Kills. I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you, Congressman. Were you the special agent in charge? To show respect for a Secret Service member that died on 9/11. Oh, that you're trying to be. Do not invoke.
So from listening to the tape, it sounds like the congressman kind of started it. But
I enjoyed it. I can tell you that.
No, let's go back a little bit. Yeah. Let's listen.
You are not. For a Secret Service member that died on 9/11. Oh, that you're trying to be. Do not invoke 9/11 for political purposes. Oh, I'm not. I'm invoking this. You are, sir. Gentlemen, you are out of line. I would like to ask him a question. Please. You are out of line, Congressman. Don't try to bully me. I am an elected member of Congress, and I'm asking you a serious question, and you are playing politics. I am a public servant who has served this nation, and you won't answer the question. On our day, on our country's darkest day.
Committee will come to order. Committee will come to order.
I'm asking you serious questions for the American people, and they're very simple. They're not trick questions. Were you the special agent in charge that day? No, I wasn't. I was there representing the United States Secret Service, sir.
Mr. Fallon, your time's expired.
Did not affect protective operations. No, you were there because you wanted to be visible because you were auditioning for this job. I was there to pay respect for a fallen member of this agency. You endangered President Biden's life, Vice President Harris's life, because you put those agents out of position.
Mr. Chairman,
you have a radio with you?
Mr. Fallon, your time has expired.
No, I did, sir, and you are out of line.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Please.
All right. And we are back in order now. We are back in order now.
Thank you.
Mr. Moskowitz, you are now recognized for 5 minutes.
Man, I would hate to be Mr. Moskowitz.
We are back in order now.
I don't think we are. Did you hear somebody go, what about the dignity? This okay. I don't even know what they're yelling at each other about.
I'm going to use that line next time I get into it with somebody. Hey, we are back in order now. I bet it won't work.
Yeah, I always was. We've said many a time. I've always said, let the new generations rise up, and then you're like, oh crap, we still got a lot of hotheads. Man, they were going at it too.
I will say
like
this:
finger pointing.
As a younger man, I had a cooler head.
Really, as a younger man, you had a cooler head.
Telling you, something happened about 45 to now.
Yeah, last decade.
Yeah,
where you just go off, you can't really control it.
It's saying it that way, but sometimes it feels that way.
But you would think on something so serious, we would get like clarity.
Yeah, I would think so. After all that, sure.
Yeah, we're not.
What?
We're not getting squat.
Order was restored.
Yeah, sure it was. Now back to the same fake script that they follow.
Oh.
So at least some real emotions jumped out in all of this. Goodness gracious. That's Congress? Seriously? That's Congress?
Actually, let me address this. Could you please, staff, leave that? Oh, no, leave that one up with the circle around me. Thank you. So actually, Congressman, what you're not seeing is the sack of the detail out of the picture's view. And that is the day where we remember the more than 3,000 people that have died on 9/11. I actually responded to Ground Zero. I was there going through the ashes of the World Trade Center. I was there at Fresh Kills. I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you, Congressman. Were you the special agent in charge? To show respect for a Secret Service member that died on 9/11. Oh, that you're trying to be. Do not invoke 9/11 for political purposes. Oh, I'm not.
The adults in charge, folks.
Hey, it could be worse. You've seen other lawmakers across the world when they just start duking it out.
Well, you know, and I have to be equal opportunity here. I have been very quick to say the women, not all of them, but you know what I mean. The women in Congress, they're out of control.
Yes.
Remember that one day where it got real heated in there?
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Mhm.
Oh, really? Don't even play.
But the fellas are out of control, too. I don't know. There's something in the water, something in the air.
Change is coming, Joey.
Get your shades on, folks.
Yep.
Future looks bright. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
This old Skeeter, how y'all doing, man?
I'm all right.
Peter, how you doing, buddy?
All right, I just wanted to say about that clip y'all just played.
Yeah.
What it was, that congressman asked a question. Then that guy come back with something like, well, I was born in a middle-class family. I was brought up in a middle-class. The congressman didn't want to hear that yet.
No, he didn't want to hear that at all.
Nope.
Man, but it went from 0 to 100 all of a sudden. It's like we're in the middle of this call and it's like, that's not what I asked you. Like, it's, whoa, sir, you're not doing a radio show. You're a member of Congress.
Well, he just wanted to know was he in charge. And the guy come back, well, I was brought up in a middle-class family. He might have felt said that. But anywho, I just want to put my 2 cents in there, fellas.
Appreciate it. Great hearing from you, Skeeter.
Hey, have y'all heard about that thing up in Prattville?
The what in Prattville?
The parade, about the parade.
No, is there a latest thing in it?
Well, from what I hear tell, they're not going to be in it.
Oh. Interesting.
And to be honest with you, I just left the city of Prattville. I delivered something there.
Mm-hmm.
And asked the fella.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anywho,
Well,
have a good day, man.
You too, Skeeter.
Appreciate it, Skeeter.
Keep between the ditches.
272-9228. Yeah, there it looks like officials with the city of Prattville to remove the Prattville Pride float from participating in the parade set for Saturday. And I guess there'll be more details forthcoming, but that's sort of the bottom line right there. All right then. It's just Eddie and I are going to be in the Millbrook parade.
Yeah.
So, like, our loyalties are already with somebody else.
You can wear the mullet wig?
No, it's too hot and itchy, man. You going to wear the mullet wig?
I might wear it just for a minute.
Where is it?
There's one there. I think I took one home. My grandkids are going to come out, I think, for the parade. So I want to make sure I wait.
So you can look like Aunt Becky or Myrna? I'm
going
Myrna?
to take it off when I see them.
Right.
And then perhaps
I
put
thought
it
you
back
were
on.
pulling an Adam Ray and like you're doing characters now.
No. I'm looking forward to it.
We got to hit this break.
Let's hit it.
But first, this part of the program, folks, brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And they're at the Goodson Group. Bo and his team are ready to help you if you're looking to buy or sell your property or a home here in the River Region area. And at the Goodson Group, Bo himself has been working this area for nearly half a century now. 50 years, 5 decades. And that means he's seen it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And he can help you whatever your needs might be. And it could be you're not looking to buy or sell property. It could be you're looking for management services. You want to change that home you currently own into a rental. Well, for a reasonable fee, the Goodson Group can be the management company for you. And if you have no experience managing a property, you probably want to go with pros like the Goodson Group. And then the crown jewel there is the Bo Goodson Real Estate School, one of the most highly acclaimed real estate programs in the state because of Bo's experience, because it's a very interactive course. And the proof is all the people, so many actually, that have graduated from Bo's school and gone on to great success, whether it's fully licensed realtors or more knowledgeable private players. So check them out today. You can always go to thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. Great sponsor here of the show.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering,
What do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bell's cleaning service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bell's because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bells today at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bells Cleaning River Region.
The mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Babs. Hey, Barbara, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
I just wanted to call and tell you, Monday I was listening, as I do all day long, to the radio. Of course, I do other things. Anyway, and I heard Scott Beeson, somebody calling about the float in our parade. And so I turned around and I called the mayor's office and gave the girl my message that I was appalled. You know, we went through the library garbage, and this is just ridiculous. And I just told them how I felt. And she said she'd give the message. I'm listening to the radio this morning with Scott, and a lady calls in. About that time, I get a phone call from W. Gillespie. I said, I don't know who that is. But I answered, and it was the mayor telling me he's returning my call. And I was blown away because, like I said, I just left a message. But I did ask him. Of course, I told him how I felt about it. And I did ask him if there was going to be a float, and he said no, not at this time. So
all right.
I just want everybody to know that. People called, people complained, and it worked. So pick up the phone and call your representatives, your senators, whatever, and let them know how you feel.
I think it was great he called you back, too.
I just want to let you know that.
Yeah,
I got
cool.
it from the mayor's mouth.
That's great. That's great.
It really was. I was very impressed. But
And now you got the mayor's number in your phone.
Yeah, well, it's not the first time I've called. But what really concerns me is, and I can't think of, I'm old, can't remember anything. He's been there too long, getting too big for his britches. What do you call that? Senators and representatives and mayors, their terms. What do you call that? What are we trying to get out of Congress?
Term limits.
Term limits, exactly. And that's part of the reason why. And thank you for letting me on. I love you guys. I do, like I said, I listen all the time. And if I don't talk to you before, have a very merry and blessed Christmas.
Merry
and
Christmas.
to all your listeners.
Merry
Too bad.
Christmas.
Thanks, son.
272-9228. Well, people calling people back.
That's great, man. Especially a politician calling you back after you made a complaint. And I'm for that town, it might be still small enough where they get that kind of service. That's great. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. See, but like, neither of us, like, I know we have a lot of listeners in Prattville. And of course, we love Ray Bowles at Prattville Car.
Yeah.
But you don't live in Prattville.
No, I got a good friend. I just moved to Prattville.
You live in Titus.
Titus.
I don't live in Prattville. I live in the nice part of County Downs. Here
There's
in
a nice
Montgomery.
part?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is there a bad part of County Downs?
Yeah, it's called Bellhurst.
Joe.
No, Bellhurst is lovely too.
Joe, you know where my mom lives, Joe?
Yeah, I do actually.
Shot, man.
That's
Jeez.
why I said it.
Kick them while they're down.
Yeah, but I live in Montgomery. So, we're happy to cover events going on in Prattville, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But,
Tri-County region.
yeah, I believe in local self-governance. I can't speak today. Real governance. Anyway, we got to hit this top of the hour break because we do have some guests coming in. It's a big thing called the Santa Drop.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about, well, honestly, I don't know. Santa Drop.
You're fixing to
I'm
find out.
intrigued, though. I'm incredibly intrigued. So, y'all stay tuned. I don't know what this is, but I have a feeling it's going to be fun.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. After the murder of an United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on Wednesday, New York City Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch says the search for the suspect ongoing.
The full investigative efforts of the New York City Police Department are well underway, and we will not rest until we identify and apprehend the shooter in this case.
The reason behind the killing remain unknown. House Speaker Mike Johnson rejects a White House request to pass $24 billion in additional aid for Ukraine by the end of the year, saying any further assistance for Kyiv would be decided by the president-elect Trump. Correspondent Bernie Bennett explains.
Johnson said in response to a question if he would add aid to Ukraine to a continuing resolution to fund the government, quote, "I'm not planning to do that." Speaking during a House Republican leaders' news conference, Johnson said Trump's election victory is changing the dynamic of Russia's war on Ukraine and that any additional U.S. assistance for Kyiv should be decided on.
Trump's victory is just the first battle. The deep state stranglehold on our economy took 50 years to build, and they won't let it go without fighting. The damage runs deeper than most Americans realize. A corrupt monetary system, a national debt exploding beyond control, a crumbling dollar. The deep state spent 50 years rigging our system. Now their economic time bomb is nearly unstoppable. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bennett. I'm here to remind you, you are not powerless. Throughout history, gold has been a safe haven from economic corruption. My trusted allies at Birch Gold Group know this. That's why they help Americans diversify their IRAs and 401ks into gold. To see how it works, get a free info kit on gold IRAs. Text the word PREPARE to 989898 right now. Don't let 50 years of globalist sabotage destroy your savings. Text the word PREPARE to the number 989898 and protect your hard-earned savings. Again, that's PREPARE to 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Well, hi, everybody. We have a cold front moving through, the risk of showers moving out, with clouds eventually giving way to sunshine today, with a high of 56, then windy and colder later on in the afternoon and Thursday night, back to the 20s. I've got us around 27 by morning, but the wind chill factor could reach the upper teens. Then Friday is a brisk day with sunshine, high around 49, 50, back to the 20s on Friday night. Saturday is a big parade day with sunshine, high 56. Little warmer, maybe 65 on Sunday. The next significant chance of rain begins overnight Sunday night into Monday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. One of the suspects in the April 2023 mass shooting in Dadeville is asking to be released while he awaits trial. Attorneys for Willie Brown Jr. claim their client is not a flight risk and that evidence against him has been permanently lost. 4 people were killed and 25 others injured in the Sweet 16 birthday party shooting. The manhunt that started Wednesday morning in Montgomery County has been called off. The incident began when a state trooper attempted to make a traffic stop on Highway 231 at Taylor Road. The driver fled on foot, leading to the manhunt. At 6 p.m., authorities announced they were no longer searching for the suspect, but no other details have been released. A shelter and warming center will be open again tonight to help those in need during freezing temperatures. Floyd Community Center will open its doors at 8 p.m. and will remain open overnight for individuals and families who need a warm place to sleep. Cots and warm blankets will be provided. The warming center is located at 3446 LeBron Road, next to the old Floyd School. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
What'll it be, Joe?
Coffee and apple pie. Whoa, Madge, what was that?
The lights? Oh, they always dim when the dishwasher turns on.
You should call Crosby Electric.
You think?
Overloaded circuits at your business can be dangerous. The experts at Crosby Electric can upgrade your electrical service to safely handle the load. And they can add receptacles where needed to eliminate overuse of extension cords.
Madge, I'd like to pay you. The problem is it's so dark in here I can't read my bill.
No, the problem is you're cheap.
Well, that's a problem too.
Effective, attractive lighting is essential for any business. Crosby Electric can help with a new lighting scheme that will give your business a fresh, exciting look. And they can recommend outdoor lighting for greater safety and security.
That'll be $4.50 for the coffee and pie, Joe.
Well, don't I get anything for recommending Crosby Electric?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
Don't put off essential electrical upgrades for your business. Call 272-2085 or visit crosbyelectric.com.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. And as promised, we have two guests in the studio with Eddie and I. We have Tara Jorgensen and Alec Martin. How you two doing?
We're doing awesome.
Doing great. Yeah, Merry
Thanks
Christmas.
for having us.
Merry
Christmas. Merry Christmas to you.
And I just hit the top of the hour break going, we got folks coming in and talk about the Santa drop. And I don't even know what that is, but I'm intrigued. I'm very intrigued when I hear just those two words, Santa drop. I'm like, what is it? So that's the first question. Like, what is the Santa drop?
Oh my gosh, it is so exciting. So Saturday at the Prattville YMCA, we will have Santa and the Grinch skydive down from the North Pole. And it's going to be pretty epic and amazing.
From the North Pole?
Yes.
So like literally they're dropping from the sky.
Literally dropping from the sky.
Wow. Okay. So this is again December 7th. And so right around the corner here. So if folks, like, let's describe the whole event, because I'd imagine there's more than just them dropping from the sky, because that's going to be a lot of fun. But I'd imagine it's a whole, like, friends, fellowship, family, these sorts of things.
Go ahead. It is going to be amazing. So we're going to have tons of activities for the kids. So we're going to start out, we've got vendors, we've got food trucks, but we're going to have games, we're going to have cakewalks, we're going to have fire trucks, we're going to have a Chase the Elf run. We're going to have professional pictures with Santa.
Nice.
We're going to have just so many things that they can do. We'll have inflatables as well.
All right.
And so there's going to be tons for the kids to do all day.
Yeah, the inflatables for the kids, I think.
You sure?
Yeah, and last time, you know what happened
I
last time.
know.
we
I'll
went
bring
on
the
those
patch kit with me this
Right, I
time.
was about to
Gotta
say.
have them.
But chase the elf. So is it like a mile run? Like you're literally chasing the elf?
It's a 1 mile run. It's a chase the elf run for kids, of course. This whole event, it's a toy drive, and this
Okay.
whole event has come about so we can give back to the community, also help bring the community together. So we encourage everyone to bring a toy, of course, and go to SantaDrop24.com to register for the event for the giveaways.
So what are some of the giveaways?
We're giving a roof away. That's the big
That's
giveaway right
incredible.
there. And it's just a way. Tara presented the opportunity to me. I've been blessed to be part of it. We've always wanted to give a roof away. So last year we gave a roof away to a veteran. It ended up being a veteran. But again, they can go register at SantaDrop24.com. We have a TV we're giving away and over about $2,000 worth of cash. So someone can go out and buy Christmas presents.
But
It'll
folks
be-
got to. I'm sorry.
It'll be an hour of giveaways.
Yes.
So every 10 minutes we're going to
Very
start giving away. And so it's going to be amazing to change people's Christmases.
And they can register at SantaDrop24.com
We-
today, tomorrow, and day of?
And day of, yes.
Nice.
And I've got it pulled up on the live stream, folks. Just go to Joey Clark Live on
That's
YouTube.
so cool. Santa Drop
that is so cool. So folks need to go to this website though, SantaDrop24.com. And because I'm looking at it right now, it's like, which giveaway are you interested in? So
Yeah,
you sort of sign up,
a lot of
get
information.
involved. And can folks drop off toys at locations before the day?
Yes, we have several locations. The YMCA, our location, I Am Roofing in Prattville off Main Street, and Christian Brothers. Are there any
Christian
others on
Brothers
that?
and then Renaissance Bank.
Renaissance Bank.
So any of the Renaissance locations and any of the Christian Brothers locations as well. And Christian Brothers has been a big sponsor as well as Renaissance and
All Poly Spray Foam.
yes.
So this is again 10 to 2 on Saturday. And so folks get there a little before 10, I think, just kind of get in the mood in the season. And when is Santa and the Grinch supposed to be coming from the North Pole?
We've gotten an ETA of around 11:15 to 11:30. So I
Okay.
would definitely be in a spot by 11:15.
Well, this is a great idea. I don't know how y'all got Santa and the Grinch to show up. Number one, I'm impressed. But
There's a lot of convincing.
like this is wonderful. It sounds like a lot of fun, especially for the kids, but for everybody. And so, have we missed anything?
I think that we've gotten everything. We just really want people to come out bundle up with great attitudes and ready to have some fun with the kids. I mean, it's an event that your kids will really enjoy.
Oh, no doubt.
And you just don't want to miss it. So it's fantastic. It's at the Willis Bradford branch on Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Beautiful. Well, good to see you both. Good to meet both of you.
Great to see you and to meet you.
Thank you.
Look
Look
at
forward to
me.
this. I think we got the parade that morning, so I think I'll take the grandkids over here this afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Please do.
That would be awesome.
That'd be great. Yeah.
And stay away from the bouncy castle.
Somebody has to
You know what
supervise
happened
it.
last time.
I'm bringing my kit. It'll be
Or
fine.
at least don't wear boots, man.
I learned my lesson that
Yeah,
day.
I know. I've
No shoes in a bouncy
You've spent
castle.
too much time. Anyway, I really do appreciate y'all's time.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Start your day a better way with Action 8 News Rising. Get your first look at news happening today, plus your latest forecast and live traffic reports. Don't settle for the same old morning newscast. Watch Action 8 News Rising, weekday morning starting at 4:30. Don't know an iPhone from a flip phone? You need to watch Action 8 News. Consumer technology reporter Jamie Tucker keeps you on top of the latest technology and keeps you safe from scams and identity thieves. Watch What the Tech, only on Action 8 News.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Yeah, y'all go check out SantaDrop24.com. Should be. That's a pretty cool event. I don't know how they got Santa to show up.
I know. And then you're going to have the Grinch chase him down. That's cool.
Right.
That is cool.
So 272-9228, if you want to get in on the conversation, where I want to take this is I'm a little intrigued by a few things in the news, but in particular, my mind is still on Doge.
Yeah.
And on what they're going to bring to the table. Yeah, when I saw the headline that like Senator Britt wants to get involved with Doge, and I'm like, okay, let's keep looking at what Vivek and others are doing on the whole Doge thing. And Vivek sat down at kind of a longer conversation. I don't even know what this is. I think it's the CFO Council. So Chief Financial Officers, like big nerd alert.
Big money alert.
Big money alert, too. But Vivek sat down for this panel, so you know it's going to be some smart questions, probably. And I've yet to even listen to this, so you want to listen?
Yeah, let's do that.
Here we go.
What has President Trump told you about what his priorities are for cutting the federal budget? Did he give you any guidance?
Well, first thing I'll say is I'm really grateful to President Trump for the opportunity, because I think it does take a different kind of president to prioritize this kind of project. This has been attempted before. Conservatives and even some Democrats have talked about for a long time the importance of downsizing the federal government, mostly just to the tune of rhetoric without a lot of action to go with it. And if you do something the way it's always been done and it's failed before, it's going to fail again. President Trump had the creativity and vision to set this up differently, to say that if you want a different result, you got to do this very differently. From the outside, you got two outsiders, Elon and myself. President Trump in many ways is himself an outsider as the president. And to be able to look at not just, and I think this is important to understand about the project here, not just about cutting cost, but about restoring true self-governance in America, where right now the people we elect to run the government, they're not the ones who actually run the government. It's unelected and even in many cases unappointed federal bureaucrats that make most decisions that impact everyday Americans, both through the regulatory state and even through expenditures that go out the door from people who were not elected and not even appointed by those who were elected.
So I love Vivek for this, because it's all these folks are thinking of it as, so what are you going to cut in the budget? Like, what's the,
I love that.
Especially a CFO is like the bean count.
Yeah.
You know, like Vivek's point there is like, it's not just the dollars and cents. It's not just the dollar amount of this or that regulation, or how much can you cut my tax back a little bit. It gets deeper into who we are as a nation and what is our actual structure of government. And I love so much that the guy driving the car with Elon Musk understands that at a deep level. It's what he frickin' ran on for president. And there's a reason that young man got a lot of traction when he was running for president. It's ideas like that. Let's keep going with this.
So it's a massive problem we're taking on, but I do think that it is something that we're taking on in a very different way, and I hope to have, therefore, a different result.
Is there any one thing that President Trump has told you? I want you to go cut that.
I think he actually is looking at it the other way in terms of keeping a very open mind, top down, to say that let's start with a clean slate. Let's start fresh, and everything is in scope for what counts as government efficiency. It's not one part of the federal government or the other. It's actually looking at it as a whole. Are we respecting the taxpayer dollar? In some ways, to use an analogy to those in this room, in the way that a CFO would look at their shareholder capital. In many ways, you are also stewards of capital, right? Your shareholders are the owners of your companies. I assume these are mostly publicly traded company CFOs in the room. Your duty is to the shareholder to ensure that that money is spent to maximize the size of their pie. You're their steward. I don't think the people who have historically spent government dollars view themselves in that same type of stewardship relationship with the taxpayer, who is like effectively the shareholder of the federal government. And I think if you view the way the federal government spends the taxpayer money, and that was in a corporate context, that would be a fiduciary breach, hands down.
Yep.
I think the officers of that public company would at minimum be fired and at worst be civilly or worse in court over the dereliction of duty they owe to the people who have entrusted them with that capital. So I think that that's what this exercise is about, is to restore that sense of duty that the government officials, and in many cases elected officials, owe to their stakeholder, which is the taxpayer. It's the equivalent of your relationship to the shareholder. And I think many of you probably, I know for sure, because the bar is so low on the other side, do a better job than the government officials do in looking after their fiduciary obligation, you could say, to the taxpayer. And that's a big part of what we want to restore.
And again, what I love about this approach is that it's a new type of Republican, and it's even a new type of libertarian, because Vivek, huge libertarian streak through that guy. Same thing with Elon. But instead of it being sort of, we must be pure in our ideology that you see so many libertarians and conservatives practice, it's like, we must follow the rules exactly to hew to our principles. It's,
zero tolerance.
It's more, no, these are vigorous executives. That's Elon Musk. That's Vivek Ramaswamy. They're both billionaires. And then Trump, being a billionaire himself, is a vigorous executive. It's sort of being that person who's actually built things and run companies, who then has that sort of libertarian streak in them, as well as a respect, and I mean this in like a little c conservative way, for the underlying values of the nation. And I think it's that approach that is very different than, say, Republican Inc., Republican Incorporated, that existed for so long. The constant promises people like Mitt Romney or people like Paul Ryan made. No, that approach is old hat. As much as you might like it and they might talk a good game, how much did they actually cut? We're not $36 trillion in debt. So what did you actually accomplish? Or you look at more how well's the Libertarian Party done? Like, so to have this new approach where it's sort of a muscular small government approach where you use a vigorous executive to drive change and do it quickly, I think it's a beautiful thing to watch. I really am excited for this. And if you do now have more senators and congressmen sort of getting on board with this idea, that just empowers the executive even more, because there's going to be all sorts of challenges to this. If the president does it unilaterally through executive order, if you get Congress to put their stamp of approval on a lot of this stuff, there's really no challenging it.
One of the best things I like, these are two business guys who have gone up against and seen government regulation and government waste and had to fight it. So I love that. They're not, I don't consider them inside government guys. I see them as the outside who's trying to clean it up.
Well, and then it gets, again, it's Vivek's point about who's actually in charge, who's actually bears the responsibility for the decisions the government makes. And if you get back to a system of, you know exactly who's in charge, it's the people who you elect, and you're not playing a guess game with folks who are in charge, but they have no accountability to voters, bureaucrats. For instance, with regulations, it's not like it's just the direct dollar cost. To comply with this particular rule, it's going to cost you $1 million. It's more the regulator. This especially happened with Bitcoin and the larger crypto economy. By the way, Bitcoin over $100,000 last night.
102?
Got to 104, I think, at one point. Yeah, it's just, we need to check the spot price right now. But this happened in that world, but it happens in every major industry. It's not that the regulator gave you a rule that Congress didn't pass. It's bad enough, and it's going to cost you $1 million. The regulator won't make a rule and won't clarify what the rules are.
Mm-hmm.
So you're stuck in limbo. Even if you know the regulations and they're going to cost this amount of money, you can still plan 5-10 years ahead. If you don't know what the rules are, or the rules are so vague, it's now at the discretion of people that aren't even elected by the people, that's worse than a number that's a cost. That's creating paralysis, a chilling effect, in how you actually operate and run your business. Because you try to take 1 or 2 steps forward, you think you've got a good plan, all of a sudden the regulator decides, well, we've thrown down the rule. It's, what do they call it in the biz? Regime uncertainty. You don't know what the legal regime is.
And that happens when you're having changes of leadership. People get in and back out because they don't know.
By the way, people think of tyranny as some, goofy German with a goofy mustache yelling and screaming and whatnot, or Stalin or whatever. It's not like, you're not like watching The Great Dictator by any means. It's more small restrictions of people whose names and faces you don't know. When you look at nations that are trying to develop more and more, whether, say, look at Haiti, which is a basket case, or you go to certain nations in Africa, the problem is not the people's entrepreneurial spirit. There are, in fact, a lot of people in those countries that could do very well for themselves and for their family and build generational wealth. The problem is that regime uncertainty, to where you can't make decisions independently of these regulators. Like the property you own on paper, you don't really own because they always have some rule they can apply. The person you want to hire for a certain wage, nope, there's probably some labor rule they want to apply, and they apply it arbitrarily. It's these small restrictions and rules and arbitrary power that produces a lot of tyranny, and it's not just morally wrong, it creates a lot of waste and holds people back from doing for one another. 272-9228. We'll keep going with Vivek in a second, but let's go to line one first. You're on there. Who's this?
Flower Child.
Hey,
Flower Child.
Happy late birthday, Joey.
Oh, thank you.
Did you get your card or not?
I don't know. I didn't
see it yet.
Hey,
I mailed it the Friday after Thanksgiving, but you would think it would be there. It should be a blue card. Maybe you can check a blue envelope.
I'll check around.
Maybe.
I'll check up front.
Yeah.
Check around up
check
front.
my box, too.
Yeah. I bet
I've got a box.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that. Okay.
I think I meant.
Well, guess what? I just checked my Bitcoin. Of course,
Yeah.
I only had to put $1,000 in. Woohoo! $3,045.
That's right.
I love that Flower Child.
It actually was up, I guess, last night overnight. What'd you say, Joey? 104
I think
or something?
it got to like 104.
We're back down to 100, or a little bit over 100, but we're climbing back right this second.
I'm thinking about buying a little bit. Just, I'm throw $1,000 at something, but this is something you never sell, kind of.
It got to $103,992.99.
Just couldn't get over it.
It's shy of it, but it's still above 100 right now.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're not a financial advisor, but would you buy some Dogecoin or however you say?
I was going to ask you about the because of the it is now. Let's be honest. It's a fake thing. I mean, I don't think there's no real solid people buying that to make money.
So here's the
more of a
deal.
gimmick.
Doge. I just went to the charts. I'm looking at the changing spot price right now for the year. Doge is up 366%. For the month, Doge is up 162%. In the year, it went from a low of 7 cents to 48 cents.
Yeah.
Worth one single Dogecoin. The problem with Doge is this. Doge is a copy of Bitcoin, except that it creates like 10,000 new Dogecoin, I think, every minute or something.
Oh,
to that
I didn't
effect.
know that.
Oh, okay.
It's incredibly inflationary. So
okay.
I would treat it this way. You put $100-$200 in Doge. Probably not right at this moment either, because it's spiked like crazy. But the way I would do it is you put whatever money you're willing to lose, like you're throwing in a slot machine. And if it does have this huge run up, like you bought some last year and you got a 365% gain, like have some fun and cash out. But I would not treat Doge as a serious investment.
Okay. Well, your next question is, who would you go? What would be your second choice after Bitcoin?
I'm Bitcoin all the way.
No Ethereum.
Ethereum's doing all right. There are also going to be others that you have to do your own due diligence and research. Think of it this way. It's like, okay, when gold, let's say gold is the base of money. It's not at the moment, but say gold is the base of money. Well, there's going to be all sorts of people around that gold that allow the market to work. So people selling the gold, the people transporting the gold, the people securing the gold. And I think that's what's going to happen in the crypto world is that there's going to be a lot of financial ecosystem around Bitcoin, and which particular crypto assets are going to be the best there. That's trying to like pick NVIDIA or Apple before they become NVIDIA or Apple. So that's more like picking a traditional stock. I think Bitcoin is more like buying a long-term store of value commodity. And that's why I'm kind of just, I'm a Bitcoin maxi, as they call it.
And the other one that's opposite of NVIDIA, it's like, starts with a P. Is it Plantar or something?
Palantir?
Palantir, yeah. Maybe. That sounds kind of promising. I don't know.
Well, all these others, I'd say just be skeptical. For instance, a top story, it's trending on X today, is you remember Hawk Tua?
Yeah.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Yeah, somebody came out with I think she did, Haley, whatever, came out with Hawk Coin. And a bunch of people put a bunch of money in it, and they lost all their money.
I can see that. Why would you put money in that?
Right. So the shaving cream coins, as say online, are closer to crap coins.
Yeah.
But I think there are others that could be part of a larger ecosystem, but that, again, takes a lot of personal research and insight.
I'm so old, I had to look up what that those two words meant.
Don't feel bad. I have to ask Joey all the time stuff.
Hey, and I sent Eddie a text. I don't know if he got it or not. But instead of them hiring 87,000 IRS agents to go after us, why don't we hire 87,000 forensic accountants to go after our federal government employees and whatnot, and where they're wasting our money?
I'd love that. Just put them on the Pentagon's budget. Just start with that.
Really?
There's a lot of money missing there.
And then they wouldn't have to get our nickels and dimes from us if they would just cut down on the waste.
Yeah.
And what have y'all already talked about I don't know if you got much more time or not, Joey, but have you talked about how the federal employees gave us a middle finger by renewing their contract for 5 years so that they can work from home? Have you seen that one?
No, that went under the radar for me.
Yeah, I've seen the pushback, but I didn't know there was a contract they could actually sign them.
Yeah. I know I saw it on Fox News last night because I think it was on Jesse's show or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear the president can rewrite the rules of the competitive service and conditions of it.
It was something like, I don't know, 54,000 employees got their contract renewed so that they can work from home.
Well, somebody else bought out the company. We're changing the deal. All right.
Contract canceled.
I like that too. And then they said that they're just sending billions of dollars out the door for EPA for this climate change.
Oh, yeah. It's everything right now. Whether it's war, spending, or everybody's getting ready.
Full fund, everything.
He can't be sworn in soon enough.
Well, we need some changes. The American people are tired of footing the bill for other people to be the elitist in this country. Yeah. And just need to get up and go to work. That's all I got to say. But go look for your card, Joey. Tomorrow would be a week. And I didn't put a return address on there, and I just put Flower Child.
You sent it here to Blue Water.
Yeah, whatever. Eddie sent me the address.
Why you got to throw me under the bus?
Okay,
I'll check my mailbox. It might be at home.
Yeah, why don't you check my box?
Because I don't.
Appreciate the call, Flower Child.
Love y'all. Bye.
See you, hon.
Why does that make you so uncomfortable? My box is right here.
It's very uncomfortable. You ever shave?
Line 3, you're on there. Who's this?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, that late Flower Child, you said it right at the end, Flower Child.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. And I saw the same thing that she was talking about. And what she's talking about is President Biden, while he's over in Mongolia falling asleep, he's redoing contracts with all the federal people, like they're just building up the whole point is on both sides, Republican or Democrat. We can all agree there's waste, fraud, and abuse to the tune of a lot of money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Anyway, and and this is in the sense that I agree with Flower Child. She was absolutely right, and I saw it too. And that's some vindictive crap to do on the way out the door when, hell, you was running for president, you drop out, put somebody up there, which is your vice president, falls on her face, and then the media wants to keep telling us, don't believe you, lying eyes, she ran a great campaign.
Yeah.
She never was great.
Yeah, well, they're full of crap, so they got to cover up for it. But I appreciate it as always, Robert.
Take care, Robert.
Hey, thanks, brother. I like y'all's show.
Thank you, man.
Just coming in, 39 miles off of the northwest of Petrolia, California. It looks like a 7.0 magnitude earthquake went off in the ocean, and there's now a tsunami warning for much of the coast, the entire coast of Oregon and much of Northern California, stretching all the way down to the San Francisco area.
Probably be one for Hawaii, too. But now in Alaska, we used to get these often, and 99.9% of the tsunami warnings went away. But, man, if you ever get a chance, anybody's out there, if you ever get a chance and you go to Alaska, go to towns like Seward, where the 64 earthquake was a big thing. You will still see railroad cars in the ocean. You still see railroad lines going into the ocean.
272-9228. That's just breaking. It's pretty crazy. This part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder. They're at Dillon Rings.
Oh, yeah.
They're a full-service jewelry shop there at Dillon Rings. And Christmas being right around the corner, gentlemen, you need to get by there.
Sure do.
And you can always go on Facebook, on the Book of Faces, and just search Dillon Rings. That's DYLAN Rings on Facebook. And they always have little, hints. Here's what's in store for you if you stop by Dillon Rings.
Well, let's just say, though, Joey, I'm a guy. I know nothing about jewelry. I know my wife, or my soon-to-be wife, really would like some jewelry. Do you think I could go to a place like that and they educate me and make sure they don't take advantage of me and I get something good for my wife?
That's Dillon Rings.
All right.
Yeah, they're going to be able to help you out.
Right.
Well, and I'm looking at their Facebook now. They have bands, stack bands, wedding bands just because you like wearing a band.
I see.
Bands with diamonds, bands with sapphires. They've got bands in whatever style you like. And if you want to wear one or stack several together, at 10 to 60% off, you can't lose, folks. Christmas is only 2.5 weeks away. So get by there. I'd love, again, how they display some of the jewelry as Christmas ornaments on the trees they have in there, because it does shine and shimmer better than any ornament that you can think of.
You ain't kidding.
So y'all get by Dillon Rings. We'll tell you more about them, how they're a full-service jewelry shop a little later. But with Christmas right around the corner, get by there. See those bands at 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your updated market report. So far this year through MLS, there have been over 4,000 closings in the river region. Sellers have been getting on the average of over 97% of the listed price. In this ever-changing real estate market, I've seen more price reductions on listings over the last 3 months than I've seen in years. It's time to act for a buyer. So we have a greater supply of homes for people to see before they buy. We have an average price of $261,000 in our area. Local mortgage companies have come up with really attractive plans for first-home homebuyers, such as down payment assistance, lender credits to help on the closing costs, and buy-down plans to buy down the starting rate for borrowers. Investing in yourself and your community is life-changing for first-home homebuyers. You need a buyer agent to represent your interest and give you great advice. For all this information, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Now you can add the power of digital advertising to the #1 reach of radio. Let Blue Water's 20 years of local advertising and marketing success show you how. Grow your business with a complete suite of digital solutions, combined with the reach of the most listened to radio group in the river region. Call us or go to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out how we can increase your return on investment. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
For more information, send an email to digital@bluewaterbroadcasting.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Well, hi, everybody. We have a cold front moving through, the risk of showers moving out, with clouds eventually giving way to sunshine today, with a high of 56, then windy and colder later on in the afternoon and Thursday night, back to the 20s. I've got us around 27 by morning, but the wind chill factor could reach the upper teens. Then Friday is a brisk day with sunshine, high around 49, 50, back to the 20s on Friday night. Saturday is a big parade day with sunshine, high 56. Little warmer, maybe 65 on Sunday. The next significant chance of rain begins overnight Sunday night into Monday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
WebBobo with Capital Tractor. Get 0% financing up to 48 months with approved credit. Now on select Kubota track loaders and excavators. Get a Kubota now through December 31st, 2024. See Capital Tractor Montgomery and Brundage or KubotaUSA.com for details.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Sam.
What up, Sam A?
I'm having a beautiful day here in Montgomery, over south side of town.
Oh, good deal.
Yeah, man.
They got the holiday lights up over there yet?
A little bit, just on the front door.
Loving that.
Yeah, I just started up. I've been up and down the road. And you have to make time, but we're making time.
Good deal.
Well, and I'd say the downtown on the riverfront is quite beautiful this time of year. If you actually have time
to get down there.
I have to go check it out.
Joey, I'll admit I haven't been down there in a while. I need to go through there in the Garden District and just, see how things look.
Well, and I'm not saying I'm going to go down there, but I just I would like people that don't have a cold stone heart to be able to go actually enjoy things. I'm too far gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did hear, because I'm like everybody else. I'm distracted. I got a lot going on, but I'm glad to hear, like over at Floyd, they're going to have the gym warmed up. Yeah, man, that's great. I went to Floyd. They'll have them big heaters. They're cranking it out, and so that's a good thing. Why I called, other chat, but I heard that interview. It was the Social Security department. It was one day Social Security somebody high up in Social Security was being interviewed, and they were talking about the empty buildings. And somebody on this mentioned it before, and I didn't realize how many people are still working from home, and of course they're going, well, it's cost effective, this, that, and the other. And I'm sure all of that, but I'd be happier if everybody went, gathered together, it was useful all in one place.
Well, I don't remember the numbers, and correct me if I'm wrong, Sam, but I think she said, like in years past, it was an average of 3% teleworking, and now it's an average of like 67 to 80% teleworking.
Very good.
So we got all these empty buildings. So, and I forget, she put out the numbers on the amount of rent that we pay on the empty buildings, then another number on maintenance, then another number on utilities. And
it's nuts.
It is. Either if it is more cost effective for them not to be at work, that's fine. Like she said, let's sell the damn buildings.
Well, and what Flower Child was referring to earlier, it was last week the Social Security Administration signed an agreement allowing 42,000 Social Security Administrative workers to work from home until 2029.
Yeah, that was all part of that interview. Hey, Joey, check this out. I remember I was working, having talk radio on in the office around 2000s, got Rush on. But I remember there was, I think I may have mentioned this before, the FBI was advertising a hiring, recruiting, whatever, job fair then. They were looking to hire thousands. They wanted an accountant. They did. They were talking about they were going to make a real push. It's got to be early 2000s, like one or two. But I just remember that then at that point they were gearing up to come after white collar, and I got thinking just a minute ago, yeah, if you weaponize the FBI, man, what a force of accountants. That's dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Put them on somebody. But that was my 2 cents. And remember, Donald Trump is known for firing people.
Yep.
And if you go into a shop and the union's upset, you decide to fire everybody. Isn't that called a lockout? You have a federal employee lockout. It's not going to happen, but I just wanted to throw that by Eddie. Eddie, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with the federal government contracts. But I remember in Wisconsin, didn't they do that in Wisconsin a couple years back where they did have that?
There have been lockouts.
Yeah.
But that's just me blowing some stuff out there because that's what I'm supposed to do. But the accountants, I remember that when they had the job fair, and it was Social Security. I guess they've got a lot of. I don't know.
Well, now if they're going to say, okay, you're staying at home now, I'd like to see some efficiency reports. Is it more efficient for you to stay at home? If that's the case, great.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, like I said, we are flexible. All right, guys, that's what I had.
Thank you, Sammy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Wish us all luck.
Later, bro.
Appreciate it, Sam. Let's go to Paul. Hey, Paul.
Hey, Paul.
Hi.
How you doing?
Yeah, I was beginning to wonder about all that now. Now, I agree with all that. But with all that being said, with all that buildings being sold, now that money right there already belongs to the people who are retired and drawing Social Security. So in all reality, if the people are working at home, that means that they are saving money, not going to work and driving back home. So therefore, that should go to the people that are on Social Security and disability, instead of some fat cat putting it in his pocket and having control of it.
Well, they steal from the Social Security fund on the regular, so
right.
Don't fall for the fact that, hey, we'll let this money go back to it. They'll just put it in that account. And take it
The
out
way
5
they
minutes
sold
later.
it was a lie,
Yeah.
and
100%.
It's a shame.
100%.
Really, it's a shame.
Yeah. And another thought that crossed my mind whenever you brought up the thing about the tsunami and the earthquake out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as people have been talking for eons and eons, there's going to be a big one out there one day in California, just going to break off and fall into the ocean. All right, well, let's just use this as a scenario from the San Andreas Fault, ever how far it does run, and it begins to crumble and fall. What in the world kind of tsunami would that make, and would there be anything left on any of the islands in its wake?
Good point.
Ooh, it's hard to even imagine.
I know.
Yeah, because if you ever watch the glaciers calf, a big old chunk of glacier falls off, you see that wave, and that's something we can imagine because you can see that. I cannot imagine a huge land mass.
Right? Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Man, that's scary just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Well, and
I
like if you're in Asia, in East Asia, you better be watching.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt.
Well, whenever they had that earthquake in Japan, what was it, 5-6 years ago, whatever it was, and some of that tsunami was supposed to make it to Hawaii. I know it missed. It went at a diagonal angle and went more north, and it did hit some of our north shore.
Yeah.
But it wasn't nothing like the landmass that they're predicting for the San Andreas Fault south.
We're looking at some of the images. It was off the coast of Oregon, where a lot.
Yeah, more or less Oregon, California border there, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, Joy. Why don't you and Eddie go ahead and invest in some more Bitcoin? Let it build up. Buy land in Arizona. And then you can really have some oceanfront property when it happens.
Well, if it don't sink into the ocean, we're going to have 3 new coasts. So, yeah.
Later, guys.
See you, man.
Got to get out and open this gate.
See you, Paul.
Appreciate it, man. 272-9228. This part of the program, in fact, the entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you with buying a home and refinancing a home. Could be you're looking to hit the ground running next year. Get the conversation going today. I mean it.
Good
today.
idea.
Call them at 567-4223. They can get you pre-approved if you're looking to go through the home buying process. They can get to understand, why are you looking to refinance? Does this make sense for you at this time? Maybe you're getting credit card debt off your back, or restructuring finances in general. Could be you're looking to reinvest in yourself or your home. And if you're a veteran, they specialize in helping veterans here in the River Region. So whether you're looking to buy or refi as a veteran, they know the latest there at Alabama Home Mortgage when it comes to the VA home loan programs. These are benefits you earn through your service. And so talk to the experts there at Alabama Home Mortgage on how you can take advantage of these benefits. And there's a lot of folks out there like, oh, I already used mine, or I didn't know, I don't think it's available to me. No, call them up. If you're a veteran, call them up, 567.
If you have any doubts about it, they are the experts.
Yes.
If you got questions, you can talk to them. They are the experts. They will have the answers.
Again, that number, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
What would you do if your favorite local independent pharmacy had to close? This is not a question we can afford to ignore. And at Adams Drugs, we are fighting alongside other independent pharmacies to keep our doors open. We need your help now. Contact your local and state representatives and demand they support our fight to stay open. You can find their contact information on our website, adamsdrugs.net. Thank you for your support. We look forward to serving you and your family for many years to come.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go to the phones and talk to Joel. Hey, Joel, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Sam was talking about FBI hiring accountants. FBI has always hired law degrees and accounting degrees. Is what they want. You would think they'd want something else, but that's at one time that's all they would take. But
well,
you know who
bean
got
counters.
out? Hey, you know who got Al Capone? That county.
The bean counters,
Oh,
baby.
yeah? Yeah, the nerds.
Yep.
but lots of them accounting degrees ain't really nerds. They just smart.
There's some overlap. You know, Kamala loved Venn diagrams. She had a point.
Yeah. Well, y'all
Have a great day, Joel.
Appreciate it, Joel.
See you, buddy.
272-9228. I want to go back to this Vivek thing.
Okay.
Because this is, again, at the CFO Summit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all these fancy, very smart bean counters.
Mm-hmm.
And so Vivek, I think so far, just a few minutes into this, he's been holding his own. Let's listen in.
Let me ask you this then. I've been watching Elon Musk's feed on X, and he's been spotlighting, these little ridiculous things that the government spends money on, squirrel mating habit research or whatever comical thing you can come up with. And those are small dollar. They're funny and they illustrate the point, but they're small dollar things. Can you give us a big dollar? Can you give us a big dollar thing that you'd be willing to cut on day one? Something north of $10 billion, say.
Well, first of all, we're 3 weeks in, and January 20th is when we officially start. So I'm actually
trying to cut $2 trillion.
Yeah, I'm going to resist the idea of cherry picking something in advance. We'll have much more to say when we get started on January 20th. But what I will say is people who run companies or CFOs of companies will be sympathetic to this, is sometimes it's actually the aggregate of a bunch of small things that you can actually use to drive a big change rather than take aim at something big that might be strategic in the corporate context to a company. So a CFO is an interesting position because the CEO sets a strategic mandate, and that often requires expending capital in order to advance that strategy. But that means that everything else that doesn't align with that strategy is on the chopping block. And so when you look at, for example, the NIH and the fact that for every grant the NIH makes, it has to give 70% of a true up on top of that to the university slush fund for overhead, when private institutions that donate to those same scientific causes only have a rake of 10%, that's a real problem. For taxpayer perspective, it's not a huge dollar amount individually that NIH grants add up to. You're talking about billions of dollars in aggregate. It's not small money. But in terms of moving the federal budget, is that one cost going to do it? No. Talk about foreign aid to China, which I posted about yesterday, right? We're giving foreign aid to China, but we're actually using Chinese borrowed money to do it. So we pay back the borrowed money with interest, but then part of that, even if it's a small amount, goes back to actually aid to that very country. So I actually think that there's a case to be made for looking at the aggregate of a bunch of the small expenses that fly below the radar of actual scrutiny. And in many cases, that adds up to something that could make a dent, even in the comparison to big expenses. So I wouldn't understate the importance of that.
Yeah, and it's crazy, too, just because China is also our number one adversary from a national security perspective, even as we're having this conversation. So you've talked about it. You had this Wall Street Journal op-ed a couple weeks ago. It's not just cost cutting, it is restructuring, to your point. It's regulatory rescissions, administrative reductions, and cost savings is what you said in that op-ed.
Right.
So it raises the question, how much of this is going to be fundamental changes to, for example, the way the government is contracting and interacting with private sector as well, and looking to glean services and looking to run itself?
Yeah, look, that's certainly in scope. But I come back to the broad principle. The people we elect to run the government aren't the ones who run the government, and we fought a revolution in 1776 expressly to ensure that we had that chain of accountability. That's created this leviathan of an administrative state, the millions of civil servants who were never elected or even politically appointed to their positions. And part of the problem was you have millions of people who shouldn't have a job that are in that position. They find things to do. So it's not that their headcount costs are actually the major issue. It's the fact that they take on responsibilities that go beyond the scope of what the federal government should have been doing. And the best evidence we have for that is that you look at the Supreme Court over the last few years, effectively telling the administrative state that much of what you're doing is illegal. Countless cases in the last several years alone, including at the Supreme Court. The overturning of Chevron deference in the Loper-Bright case. Look at the major questions doctrine in West Virginia versus EPA that said many of the coal mining regulations were themselves unlawful because they never actually went through Congress. What we have right now is hard evidence. This is not a political opinion. This is hard evidence delivered by the Supreme Court that much, if not most, of what the federal regulatory state is doing is on its terms right now illegal and unconstitutional. That needs to be fixed. Once you fix that's actually the root cause for a lot of the spending overruns and the carelessness with which the government's contracting with private parties who are charging the federal government far more than they would charge either another government or another private counterparty. Looking at the overruns of just raw waste, fraud, and abuse, the unauthorized dollars that are being spent, over $500 billion a year of unauthorized expenses are still going out the door. You look at the way in which that money is being spent through Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. People love to have lazy armchair discussions about, are you going to make cuts to entitlements or not? When in fact, the dirty little secret is that many of those entitlement dollars aren't even going to people who they were supposed to be going to in the first place. They're hundreds of billions of dollars of savings to extract just from basic program integrity measures to make sure that the person who's actually getting the money was indeed the person for whom it was intended or was supposed to be legally getting the money in the first place. It's my
And that one thing he just brought up, because people are like, well, if you don't touch mandatory spending entitlements, so-called, then, I mean, what are we even talking about here? And if you're not going to touch the Department of Defense, because the Republicans won't touch that, right? What are we even talking? We're talking about y'all, cutting around 14% of the budget. But DOJ has presented Vivek's point about, okay, somebody's on Medicare, somebody's on Medicaid. They need these benefits because they qualify. Well, okay, that's one thing. But Medicare and Medicaid together have about $100 billion in improper payments in 2023.
Yes.
It's a lot of money. I haven't seen figures on what happens with Social Security fraud.
You can only imagine.
But I'd imagine it's a pretty big number. And that's the sort of thing that's just infuriating. Because people were made these promises, and you're wasting a pretty large size of the budget on just giving out the money to the wrong people. It's nuts. I think you're going to see the same thing in the Pentagon. It's going to be like, oh, we have this $300 million for this weapon system, and you find out it didn't even go to the weapon system. It went to this other thing.
Don't you remember those grants during COVID?
Oh, good God.
Right.
So
they're inept. They can give out money, but they're inept at who they give it to, and they don't track it.
Again, just to underline the point, I think Vivek in particular, but Elon bringing in a little extra muscle, but Vivek in particular understands that we can recreate the way we think about government spending, government efficiency, and you could do it in a principled way that's appealing to the actual values of the Constitution. It doesn't have to be just raw dollars and cents. It doesn't have to be a raw transactional negotiation between members of Congress and a president. You can actually be a vigorous executive, a vigorous CEO, and you can start to restructure. And where you can't do it all on your own, you can drive the car towards actual structural reform. I think it's beautiful. And by the way, you know how he just said, I'm not going to give specifics. I don't know this. I'm speculating. I have a feeling that on January 20th, like that afternoon after Trump's sworn in, stuff is going to come out that's going to make people's heads spin on what Doge wants to do.
There's no doubt in my mind.
It's going to be so much fun. And now the one downside, the one worry is all this is going to do is make a bunch of Republican lawyers very rich. With a lot of litigation, they'll be able to now fight.
But I have to look at the bigger picture.
We'll see. We'll see. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer. That's that's the bear case, though, where you don't really change much of anything. Just everything's now tied up in court instead of the bureaucracy.
But so many people won't even take that step. At least we're making that step. We're making the right, we're heading the right direction.
Let's hit this top of the hour break. Again, Bitcoin over $100,000. I love it, folks.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. The acting director of the Secret Service says the agency is reorganizing and reimagining its culture and how it operates following an assassination attempt against Donald Trump on the campaign trail back in July. Members of a bipartisan House task force investigating the attempts on Trump's life pushed Ronald Rowe about how the agency staffers should or could have missed such blatant security vulnerabilities leading up to that day in Butler, Pennsylvania. The search for a woman who is believed to have fallen into a sinkhole in western Pennsylvania has become a recovery effort now. After 2 days of digging through mud and rock, produced no signs of life. The search for 64-year-old Elizabeth Pollard will continue. The Dow dropping 146 points. The NASDAQ is down 18. This is SRN News.
Trump's victory is just the first battle. The deep state stranglehold on our economy took 50 years to build, and they won't let it go without fighting. The damage runs deeper than most Americans realize. A corrupt monetary system, a national debt exploding beyond control, a crumbling dollar. The deep state spent 50 years rigging our system. Now their economic time bomb is nearly unstoppable. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bennett. I'm here to remind you, you are not powerless. Throughout history, gold has been a safe haven from economic corruption. My trusted allies at Birch Gold Group know this. That's why they help Americans diversify their IRAs and 401ks into gold. To see how it works, get a free info kit on gold IRAs. Text the word PREPARE to 989898 right now. Don't let 50 years of globalist sabotage destroy your savings. Text the word PREPARE to the number 989898 and protect your hard-earned savings. Again, that's PREPARE to 989898 to get your free info kit from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Well, hi, everybody. We have a cold front moving through, the risk of showers moving out, with clouds eventually giving way to sunshine today, with a high of 56, then windy and colder later on in the afternoon and Thursday night, back to the 20s. I've got us around 27 by morning, but the wind chill factor could reach the upper teens. Then Friday is a brisk day with sunshine, high around 49, 50. Back to the 20s on Friday night. Saturday is a big parade day with sunshine, high 56. Little warmer, maybe 65 on Sunday. The next significant chance of rain begins overnight Sunday night into Monday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASE Credit Union the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
1819 News.
There is a deadline for Alabamians to now be aware of as 2024 comes to an end. The Alabama Star ID deadline will be in May of 2025, giving Alabamians less than 6 months to plan on updating their driver's license to have that Star ID placed there. The Star ID will be required for domestic flights throughout the U.S., or a person must supply their passport. Documents needed for establishing this ID can be a birth certificate, passport, social security card, or other documents. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Some of the greatest blessings is just having people that care about you, to have someone that's just going to love you and make you feel important. They encourage you to be in church. They encourage you to be in prayer. They encourage you to be in your Bible. Now it's a part of my day every day. My house parents planted seeds in me that you can see where those seeds have sprouted in my life and helped change my life.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A class action lawsuit was filed this week against 3 of the largest pharmacy benefit management companies in the U.S. The lawsuit is being launched by 4 separate pharmacies located in the Huntsville area. The lawsuit claims that antitrust laws are being violated in that the benefit management companies are unfairly fixing the reimbursement rate for pharmacies. Attorney Eric Airtrip spoke with WHNT News saying this is a very important case that will affect tens of thousands of independent pharmacies across the U.S., and the Miles College Marching Band will be taking part in the competition for Band of the Year that is hosted by ESPN. The championship competition will be held this coming December 13th in Atlanta. The Miles College Purple Marching Machine is ranked as the number 2 band for historically black colleges and universities. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hello, everyone. Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Final hour of the program here. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Oh, thank God. Tsunami warning canceled.
Is it because all those people went out to the ocean to watch? Are they leaning into it too? They're hoping there's an asteroid?
Right, yeah. Like, let's just be in the blast range. It's essentially the same mentality.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's been, no impending tsunami, thank God.
Yeah, don't want any kind of thing like that to happen.
That would be terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible. Now, with Bitcoin over $100,000.
Yeah.
The guy who's really, I think he's bought something like 36 billion Bitcoin through his company now, Michael Saylor at MicroStrategy.
Okay.
He joined Charles Payne on Fox Business.
Shaq's brother?
Yeah. And that's racist in some way. I don't know.
Not.
Yeah, like it is. It is. I'm just saying. Michael Saylor joined Charles Payne, and it's not a sit-down interview. It's like they're standing in front of a big board, and it has some of the slides that Michael Saylor presented to the board and executives of Microsoft, saying, "Here's what we did at MicroStrategy.
Ooh, you might want to do the same.
Here's how y'all can bring it on board." And apparently, he's doing a lot of these seminars with big publicly traded companies. I keep saying, if you're in Alabama and you're part of the legislature or you're part of that community and you want to know what is this guy up to, at least hear the pitch, invite him. I bet he'll show up. I think this is what he's now devoted his life to.
You know he will.
At this point. So let's listen into a little bit of this just to help folks understand what the heck is going on with the run-up in the Bitcoin valuation.
English is this, the digital capital.
Look, when we saw digital photos transform, a lot of people didn't get the fact that Kodak was going to get replaced by Instagram and Facebook, but they get digital photos. Digital capital is what happens when your long-term store of value goes from a building or goes from a portfolio of stocks to a digital asset like Bitcoin. Bitcoin represents the digital transformation of hundreds of trillions of dollars of capital in the world.
Right.
No one expected to see it, so they don't quite get what it's going to be, except for the fact it's worth all the money in the world.
So let's talk about that, because you have a couple of slides showing assets around the world. First, let's start with this from again geared toward Microsoft, but some critics would say when you talk about digital capital being economically and technically superior, no tax. I mean, that doesn't mean it can't be taxed in certain jurisdictions at some point. No torts. Legal issues are going to come up. No regulator. I mean, these are great points, but are they forever points?
The point is, I got $100 million in New York City and I buy a building. I got to worry about someone slipping and falling on the sidewalk and a property tax. But if I can snap my fingers and teleport the building to Zambia, Central Africa, or to Monaco, all of a sudden it's a teleportable building. And of course, if I don't have any tenants in the building, I don't got to worry about them defaulting. Digital capital is the ability to move the money at the speed of light anywhere on Earth and program it on a computer. There's a lot of people that are going to want that rather than having, pick a country in Africa where you want to invest your life savings in a building. Forever.
Yeah, let's say Angola.
Right, and what happens if the government fails? You lose everything.
Exactly.
But if you could put the building in your pocket and go to the place where you like the government, maybe you get to keep your money.
Great. Let's talk about how it's going to grow.
Again, and before they get into how it's going to grow, think of it this way. There's a lot of folks, as you start to gain wealth, and here's what I think is beautiful about this. It's accessible to folks that normally wouldn't be in this category. Even folks working with a working wage can put a little money away, $100 away a month or something, into this, and it will be a much better savings vehicle than just throwing it in a savings account. But think about all the folks who buy that second, third home, or buy the apartment complex, or buy a bunch of land, or buy gold, or essentially when you start getting a bunch of money, you're like, how do I preserve this over time? And there's a lot of ways to go about that. But the idea here is that folks are going to move a little bit of what they would have put into that building, or what they would have put into that second, third home, or what they would have put into gold, or what they would have put into land, yada, yada, yada. and they're going to take some of that and put it into Bitcoin. Treating it, and his point is that it's not like physical capital, which with upkeep costs and property tax costs and what happens if a tsunami hits or a tornado hits, all these things. And so here's the kind of the idea of how is it going to grow. Let's listen in.
So in your presentation, you have this slide twice. The first one, right now, Bitcoin is $2 trillion. You're saying in 21 years, $280 trillion. How do we get there?
What I'm saying is the wealth in the entire world is growing because of innovation, because of technology, but also because of inflation. And people are thinking to sell their Central African real estate to buy Bitcoin, or sell their Siberian natural gas to buy Bitcoin, or sell their Argentine currency to buy Bitcoin. So as people migrate their capital into this global monetary asset, that asset class is going to grow faster than equity, faster than gold, faster than real estate.
But also, did I read somewhere that you're saying each Bitcoin would be worth the equivalent of $13 million?
Yeah, well, when you crank in the growth rate, which for me, the base case is 29% a year on average for 21 years, that gets you from where we are today to 13 million a coin in the year 2045.
All right, so we've talked about the financial parts of this. You and I have had great conversations in the past about the humanitarian part of this, right? And I want to talk about that. You just mentioned Africa, for instance. Bitcoin's philosophy and political promise. This is an article from 2022. It's not just a decentralized peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It's more, right? This is what this article is saying. And it's going to have an impact on economies, philosophy, politics, human rights, and society. That is huge to live up to.
Bitcoin is a protocol for prosperity. Fire, electricity, steel, English, mathematics. You would give them to the world. Bitcoin is an economic protocol. Once you master Bitcoin, you can figure out how to save your wealth, how to economically prosper. It works for a country, a company, a family, an individual. Nobody owns it. It's a utilitarian, egalitarian entitlement, just a good for the world. That's why I'm so enthusiastic about it.
And particularly underdeveloped nations, right? I mean, this is what we're really talking about, a way for them to catch up. I mean, right now, if you're an underdeveloped nation and you want to try to catch up, you're at the whims or the mercy of the IMF or the World Bank, who, quite frankly, they have rates sometimes that are like, that makes the mafia blush, right? I mean, to me, you're always going to be an underdeveloped nation if you have to go to the World Bank to borrow money.
If you're a type 1 diabetic, you can eat continuously and you'll starve to death because you cannot store organic energy. If you don't have a capital asset like Bitcoin, I can send billions or tens of billions of dollars to Africa. You can make billions. The money will just drain out of your capital structure because you're storing it in a currency which is collapsing faster than you can actually generate it.
Will large industrialized countries allow this to live up to its promise? It's one thing to say it's a $2 trillion asset.
By the way, that's a fantastic question. It's the question I've been asking now for the last 2 years. What is the U.S. government going to do? I've been bought in on, I think this technology works for a while now.
I did hear a story this morning of why the U.S. government is a little bit hesitant about it. Right now, let's say Joey opened up a gun store. We didn't want Joey to be in the gun business. Well, we can't because Joey has free speech. The government can't go say, Joey, you're going to close it down just because we don't want you to have it. But I can go to the bank that you bank with and say, we don't want Joey to have this bank account.
And this is, we had Andrew Sorrell, State Auditor Sorrell in here talking about the debanking, saying it happened to him.
That's what really kind of rang true to me. I started reading more and more articles. It's happened to a lot of people for the strangest reasons. And I think this would take a huge weapon away from them.
Oh, right. This is, remember when the Canadian government seized all the money of the Canadian truckers?
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who are smart enough to, and this is why governments don't like it. It's why like the Chinese, for instance, in 2013 banned it. Now they've now relented. And here's the deal. I think governments are relenting because they've painted themselves into a corner and they don't want to get their feet wet with that wet paint. They really have printed some more. And so people are looking for a hard asset that can't be produced into infinity.
If I buy $1 worth of Bitcoin and my country goes to hell tomorrow, I still got $1 worth of Bitcoin.
Well, think of it this way. There are two reasons and two ways of thinking about money, especially in the East, in a place like China, and this goes all the way back to the Mongols. I've talked about this on the air before. like in particular in the Khanate, the Mongols Empire, they had a unique currency that I think was made out of black bark with white writing, and it was only valuable within the Khanate, within the empire.
Gotcha.
Everywhere else, it was pretty much worthless, but it was the only currency allowed. And so those sorts of governments, that style of government, thought of money not as like a means of measuring value or storing value. They thought of it as a means of political control.
100%.
It is a means of political power.
100%.
Whereas in the West, there have, of course, been governments that you control the monetary system in order to control. But in the West, we also had a tradition of, no, money is your property. Money is yours. Those gold coins are your gold coins, and no government can create gold out of thin air, no matter how much the alchemists are trying at it. And so there's this tension right now, and our system used to be much more property-based.
Yes.
Like your property, your money is your money. It is since the pendulum has swung more and more in the direction of no, money is a means of political control. Think of every time there's a foreign policy issue, they go throw sanctions on them.
Yeah.
It's because we control the monetary system and the way this government controls the monetary system. When you think about how the government controls, to your point about debanking, and all these other ways they control people's behavior and speech, how they caught Al Capone.
Yeah, bean counters.
Right. And all this stuff, it's because in many ways they control the money. And it's a very powerful tool that is a lighter touch than overt violence.
That's why I think they reached out with the 87,000 more IRS agents. They got things like Cash App actually reporting every single transaction now. Yeah.
Right.
Control.
And I think what's going to happen is a sort of resettlement of the monetary order. It's going to, because of Bitcoin, move much more in the direction of property. Not completely. Governments will still be around. They're not going anywhere. I don't think the dollar is going anywhere, for instance. But I think there is a huge now infusion back into the system of private property rights and a unique type of private property, to his point, that you can teleport anywhere in the world.
Yeah, anywhere.
Like, say you've got a bunch of gold bars. Good luck getting through customs.
Good luck. I was going to say, good luck.
Like, there's all sorts of examples of, like, even with loads of cash, you're like, I want it to hold in my hand.
10 grand, if you got, I think you have to declare if you got more than 10 grand most places. And
right.
I don't want to go to those places because I got a feeling they're going to take my 10 grand.
Right. So let's finish this up.
It's another to say, hey, eventually this will replace fiat currency, which a lot of folks believe it will.
I think you got to keep in mind money bifurcates into currency, the medium of exchange, of which the dollar is the world reserve currency, and capital, the store of value, of which right now real estate and equity portfolios are the world reserve capital. Bitcoin is emerging to compete with equity and real estate as world reserve capital. But those Africans, they can't buy real estate in the US. They can't buy equity in the New York Stock Exchange. It's global capital. And once you understand that, you realize that every nation that respects property rights is going to support Bitcoin.
Yeah.
If you go communist, full-on socialist, North Korea, Cuba, they're going to expropriate your property. But any place where people respect property rights and they give you a chance for capitalism and freedom, they're going to allow you to have Bitcoin. And the competitor really is, the Vanguard 500 is going to get demonetized a little bit. And then instead of buying a real estate portfolio and a third apartment, you buy some Bitcoin. And I don't think that's threatening to anybody.
As a realtor, I'm threatened by that.
Yeah.
Don't say I'm not arguing with him.
His point is that it's going to grow 29% for the next, on average, for the next 21 years. 29% a year on average for the next 21 years. That is not him saying that people won't buy equities or buy gold or buy real estate or all these other ways you try to preserve wealth over time. He's just saying that it's going to eat into that pie a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a massive upside. What is that? If you do that, what would Bitcoin be worth? A Bitcoin, it'd be $13 million a Bitcoin.
If it's given better returns, at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to do with your money.
Yes, exactly right. And if you want to get real nerdy about it, there's a book that's always just stuck in my memory. It's by Friedrich Hayek, the Nobel Prize winner. You know what he won a Nobel Prize for?
What's that?
His work on what he called spontaneous order.
Oh.
That information, distributed information, systems can, like, say something like a price system. There's no central clearinghouse or central controller planner that knows what the price of everything should be. It's why communism didn't work. What's beautiful, though, is that if you own a small business with a few employees and you're understanding here's how much revenue we can bring in, here's the cost of our inputs every year, that specific firm and specific owner or household even, they know their own needs. And what are they responding to? They're responding to prices. And that price sends information across the entire system without any one person controlling all of that.
It goes out.
And what comes out of that price system, even though the information is discrete and everybody who's buying things from everybody else doesn't know everybody else, out of that you get order spontaneously by each person doing their own individual thing, responding to the price system. You get order out of it in a strange way, spontaneously, as he says. And so he wrote a book in the early 70s. That's what he won kind of the Nobel Prize on. Pretty amazing stuff, and I think it applies to other industries besides, say, money and economics, other fields of thought. I would love to see an update given the advance in information technology. But in the early 70s, he writes a book, Hayek does, called The Denationalization of Money. And he's trying to think through, it's like a big thought experiment, the book is. He's trying to think through, okay, I don't like these central banks. They're printing away everybody's savings. It's not just the Federal Reserve, it's every central bank. And in some places like Argentina or Turkey, what, you put all your money in the Turkish lira and it's gone in what, a decade? Gone. Yeah. So Hayek's seeing this problem develop in the 70s. This is after we go off the tether to gold. Nixon closes the gold window in 1971. Like, it used to be the classical gold standard, like $1. How many you could trade in those greenbacks for actual gold at the bank. It changes, like FDR confiscates gold in the 30s, and it changes to what is known as the Bretton Woods system. So Eddie and Joey couldn't go to the bank and take our dollars and go give us gold.
Right.
But other central banks could. So Germany and France could be like, hey, United States, we see your underpants, give us your gold, because we've been getting all these dollars in the open market. We now want gold. That was happening too much because we'd printed way too much money in the 60s into the 70s. So Nixon pulls out of the gold window, essentially in 1971, and says, nope, you don't get to redeem all those dollars. In fact, the dollar itself is now, gold's just this barbarous relic, and though every central bank still holds a bunch of it, which is interesting. You got to go, why are we still holding all that? So Hayek's thinking through, okay, we're not even backing money by commodity. It's pure fiat now. How can you denationalize this? Because he could see coming in the decades the devaluation of people's wealth and savings and more centralized political control through the control of money. And he starts going down an interesting road where it's not just a dollar is a dollar. He's like, what are the different reasons you might want money? You might want money that stays stable, where it's pretty much the same thing all the time. Like $1 is $1 is $1 is $1. And that, who wants that? It's actually folks doing a lot of transactions during the day. Like if you're a business owner, you don't want that value of that dollar going all over the damn place while you're trying to run an operation. But then there are also going to be folks that want money to lose value over time. Who? People that owe a lot of money.
Yep.
And this is like the U.S. government and a lot of other ways our system works. So if you take out a bunch of debt, and the amount of debt you owe doesn't change even as the value of the currency it's denominated in decreases.
Right.
So if you want to drive an economy through debt and inflationary money, but what about somebody who wants a deflationary money? Somebody who wants money, because people do want money, that gains value over time. And in fact, that's why people buy into real estate.
Right.
It's why people do all this stuff, because they want something that gains value over time.
You want your money to work for you.
And so what you could get out of this is Bitcoin would serve the role as sort of that anchor of, I want to save value over time.
Okay.
Then you'll probably get the US dollar probably working with other types of digital assets. That there's one called Tether, where the value of a Tether is always $1. And they have different mechanisms for making sure that's always true. So if you want a digital dollar and you want to trade and all that, and then I'm sure there's still going to be inflationary money, governments will still exist.
Oh, no doubt.
But what you're going to have is essentially competing forms of money and competing currencies that will fulfill these different roles of money. Hayek was trying to think it through, and this is long before the cryptocurrency revolution. He's like, well, you get rid of the central bank and you can have a bunch of private firms, private banks that say, we'll issue this currency against this basket of commodities, and we'll always keep it within this certain value range. And they can make different promises to people. But you could see how that could go real wrong real quick. And so to have something that doesn't require the good faith of a company, that in fact is built into the system are the rules. And if you want to play with that system, you got to play by the rules.
Right.
It solves the problem. And it's freaking ingenious.
So you think they're mad because they ain't found a way to cheat it yet?
Yeah, well, and the more socialistic or controlling governments don't like the idea of not only is private property being reintroduced into money and into capital, it's also the hardest form of money, like the most sound, and it can be teleported just as fast as their fiat to anywhere in the world. So it's an interesting time. I'm not some finance guy by any means.
Jim Cramer?
I was just a libertarian nerd, and I started reading Austrian economics.
Well, plus, though, you've got experience in this. You've put your money where your mouth is in this. So,
yeah. But it'll be interesting to see where this goes. In particular, does Trump and the Trump administration follow through? I think they are.
First 100 days.
Looking at the people he's appointed. And when you talk to younger folks, I know both senators for a fact, both Tuberville and Senator Brett are all about this stuff. So I think there's a lot of new blood in the system, in the executive branch and the legislative branch, and will be installed in the regulatory world, that are pro this stuff and want to see it develop. And they're starting to realize, oh, if we in the United States don't do it, it's how Alabama should be thinking.
Yes.
Then somebody somewhere else is going to use this to their advantage. So we might as well, if we want to keep primacy, we might as well get in on this and make it work for us and ours.
If we're going to keep Mississippi at 50th, we need to go ahead and do it before they do.
This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. They're ready to help you fellas out, especially if you're experiencing the symptoms of low testosterone. It can happen even at a young age, in your 20s. But, of course, it also happens as you get older naturally. You start losing that edge. So what are the symptoms? Well, no motivation, no energy to speak of, no drive, including a decrease in your sex drive. Your libido is like nothing.
Nothing there.
Ugh. Yeah. And then also you're seeing unwanted weight gain, loss of muscle mass, and it's not like you change your eating habits or how active you are during the day, but you're still seeing those changes. You just feel like you're walking through your life in a fog and trudging through mud.
Yep.
Well, the folks there at Montgomery Men's Health can conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a consultation for only $99. And if you do have low T, they have low T treatments there at Montgomery Men's Health that can truly change men's lives. After these treatments, men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym.
Brother.
That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism, and you usually even notice an increased libido.
That's all right, Joey.
And you can actually book the same day you call. Call them right now, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. Somebody has been very patient on line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey, it's James.
Hey, James. How you doing, man?
Hey, I just wanted to ask you something that's a lot simpler than the Bitcoin, because I like to watch, well, no, I can't say to watch anything, but I like to ask, hey, Google, what's the price of Tesla or Apple or all the different things. And one that bit my curiosity, but I don't know the answer to it, with Trump going in and he's going to open up the Keystone. What company makes the pipes for the Keystone?
Oh, that's a good question.
Actually, that company, there was a story out the other day, that company that actually did that is no longer in business. Another company bought them out, but they are trying to get all that going again.
Okay.
Yeah, the Biden administration kind of put a hurt on that company.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I didn't know if they had survived enough.
In fact, they had bought, I forget how many miles of that pipeline already and had to turn around and sell it, just trying to stay afloat.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you. I'm enjoying this conversation about this. I don't know if a blind person could actually buy Bitcoin, could they?
If a what person?
Blind
that can't see anything.
No, the reason that guy who was talking, Michael Saylor, the reason his company's doing so great is he realized there are a lot of firms that in their charter cannot buy Bitcoin, but they're seeing this and they want exposure to it. And so he's created this whole system through his company by buying up a bunch of Bitcoin to where folks who can't buy it direct can instead buy equity in his company or buy, a convertible bond.
Okay.
Or you can buy now the spot ETFs that like BlackRock and Fidelity are putting on.
Oh, okay, yes, sir. Well, thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, James. Yeah, no, it's a fascinating new world. And the reason I got all excited at the beginning of last year, or the beginning of this year, excuse me, is because the Bitcoin ETFs were approved. Like a court finally said, no, you have to approve this. And I'm like, okay. And then the next question is who's going to win the White House? Who's going to win the Congress? Because they have been stuck in regime uncertainty, as we were talking about earlier. So much of the crypto industry is stuck in that. So we'll see. We'll see.
Do you know, or is Ethereum or any other ones taken off like Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin
Ethereum's done well. Ethereum's done well, and there are going to be others. The reason I just stick to Bitcoin is I am not the guy you need to ask about your stock portfolio. I don't sit there and do research on all the different companies who build the pipes and
what about marriage,
the latest
marriage advice? Are you good at that?
No, don't. Don't try. That's my advice in there. Or just don't try.
I see.
Like maybe some of y'all are model husbands and you're gonna make a woman very happy. Some of y'all that just ain't in the cards. So don't try.
I've never met a model husband. I've met several that try, but
right. But I would put it as Bitcoin is a unique new commodity, digital capital, as Michael Saylor says, that is different. It's not like Joey's saying buy this company. Right. And I think some of these other cryptocurrencies, it's akin to saying buy this company. I think it's going to do real well.
I see what you're saying.
And people might be right, they might be wrong. And I think that will come under certain security regulations. There might be some weird ones that don't quite fit because it's a new tech, but that can be worked out with now very pro-crypto people in all these positions of power, including a new SEC chairman, firing Gary Gensler. So we'll see.
Seems to have some support there.
Yeah. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
No one wants to wait on service for an overhead door. With 20 years in the industry, you now have access to the best with All Access Overhead Door. All Access Overhead Doors offers prompt professional service at affordable prices on all service and new garage doors for residential and commercial locations. All Access Overhead Door serves the River Region and can take care of whatever you need when it comes to your overhead door. Remember, you have access to the best. All Access Overhead Door. Call and schedule an appointment today. 320-2440. And like them on Facebook. They sell the best and service the rest.
Help solve unsolved crimes by watching Action 8 News. Look for our exclusive I-Team reports as we work with Central Alabama Crime Stoppers to solve murder mysteries and put criminals behind bars. Victims' families are counting on you to watch Action 8 News. Ever miss an Action 8 newscast? Catching up is easy with the free Zeem app. Watch the news live on your phone or see newscasts from the past 3 days. Download Zeem. Search for Zeem in your app store today and stay on top of what's happening from Action 8 News.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hi, this is Carol Kennedy with Camo Country, and we've been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for many years, and we appreciate Blue Water Broadcasting helping promote Camo Country.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend, must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Well, hi, everybody. We've got another shot of Arctic air funneling into the state. We're back to the 20s tonight. I've got us around 27 for the overnight low temperature, but the winds, could reach the upper teens by morning. Dress in layers, and then a brisk day Friday with sunshine. High tomorrow, 49 or 50. That's the best we can do. Upper 20s again Friday night. Saturday, the big parade day. Sunshine, high 56. Sunday's a little warmer, mid-60s, and that next significant chance of rain coming in the overnight hours Sunday night in through Monday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Get a Kubota RTV with a $2,000 instant rebate or 0% APR, up to 48 months with approved credit. Get a Kubota now through December 31st, 2024. See Capital Tractor Montgomery and Brundage or KubotaUSA.com for details.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. This part of the program brought to you by the great team there, Ashley and that great team at Pest Pro Services.
That's right, Joey.
Pest Pro, they're ready to help you out with any and all of your pest control needs. They're the great local folks that you should today make your everyday pest control company.
Couldn't agree with you more, buddy.
Of course, they can also help you out with an emergency job if it really is a time-sensitive issue. You got family coming over early.
That's right, for the holidays, baby.
And you want to make sure there are no ants in the kitchen, no cockroaches in the back guest room.
Free. You don't want your Christmas tree having La Cucarachas running around it.
Especially if you're hosting in-laws.
Oh, they're going to be a little bit prudent. They'll be looking for things to give you crap about. Talk behind your back about.
Have you seen the clip making the rounds of the British guys going like, I knew my mother-in-law was coming because I saw the mice throwing themselves on the traps?
No, but that's good. That's really good.
So maybe you do have the in-laws showing up and you want to make sure there are no issues when it comes to those pests.
Yeah.
Go with Pest Pro Services. Or like I said, as you hit into the new year, they can help you out on an everyday, regular basis. That number, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. And if you do go there, they're doing a Blue Santa thing.
That's right. That's right. Toy donation, drop it off right there. It's going to underprivileged families here in the local region. Something Joey and I will be doing next week.
So, again, that's Pest Pro Services. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you, and also say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Well, I don't need to tell you all that. Again, 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. Let me check 1819news.com because they update. Here for folks who are interested. The latest from Craig Monger. Prattville removes drag queen Christmas parade float, citing, quote, serious safety concerns for Pride Group and attendees.
Oh, really? Interesting.
The controversial Prattville Pride Christmas Parade float has been pulled from the event, Mayor Bill Gillespie said in a statement, citing safety concerns for Prattville Pride participants and attendees. The Prattville area has been in an uproar after it was revealed that the local nonprofit, Prattville Pride, was putting together a float for the Christmas parade, promising it would be, quote, the gayest and merriest ever. Leadership for the group later revealed that the float would include a drag queen performer. After the Prattville City Attorney cautioned the City Council not to intervene, citing First Amendment concerns, the float's inclusion in the parade seemed all but assured. However, in the aftermath, at least one parade participant, St. Joseph's Catholic Church, announced it was pulling out of the parade due to the Pride float. So good for St. Joseph.
Yes.
On Thursday, Mayor Gillespie issued a statement to a local outlet stating that the city chose to remove the float, citing safety concerns. Here is the full statement, quote, from Mayor Gillespie. This morning, it was brought to the city's attention from Prattville Pride that there are serious safety concerns regarding Prattville Pride's participation in the parade, Gillespie said. Until today, there has only been conjecture and speculation regarding potential safety concerns that Prattville's Pride participation in the parade may cause. The city will not put the rights of parade participants ahead of the safety of its citizens. Because of the safety concerns for Prattville Pride, other parade participants, as well as parade bystanders, the city has made the decision to remove Prattville Pride from the Christmas parade. This decision was made with careful thought and consideration while balancing the rights of parade participants against the overall safety of everyone involved at the parade. The city will always respect freedoms and rights of expression. However, as in this instance, it must put the overall safety of its citizens first. Gillespie did not elaborate on the nature of the safety concerns or if the decision to withdraw the float was mutual. Social media, specifically local Facebook groups, have been divided on the issue since it came to light. Many opposed expressed disgust and displeasure at the float's inclusion in an ostensibly religious holiday celebration. Those supportive of the inclusion have likewise criticized those opposed with accusations ranging from religious bigotry to outright hate. Some residents on social media claim the Prattville Parks and Recreation Department was telling residents who asked that there was no drag queen slated to participate in the parade. It is still unclear how many participants withdrew from the parade over the Pride float. 1819 News requested comment from the Prattville Parks and Rec Department, but didn't get a call back. Gillespie told 1819 News that he had not, quote, requested any information on participants who decided to withdraw from the parade over the float. Cleanup Alabama, the group founded out of the Prattville Library controversy, has been spearheading efforts to have the float removed from the parade. After Gillespie's announcement, the group released the following statement, quote, we've been vocal about our concerns with Prattville Pride being allowed to sexualize the Prattville Christmas parade, but threats and violence are unacceptable. Cleanup Alabama does not condone threats or violence. We continue to pray for those we disagree with and hope the authorities will deal with this situation appropriately. So Eddie and I are going to be in the Millbrook Christmas parade.
Thank you for clarifying that, Joey.
This will be on Saturday.
And we will be in the Sprinter van, no float.
Parade starts at 2.
Yep.
And that'll be right, imagine, I don't know the exact route, but it'll be right there on Main Street.
The Smokehouse, you go down Main Street and you usually take a left at the park. I've done this many times. Always enjoyed it. Always wanted to roller skate it. But yeah, I'm too lazy.
Are you going to make fun of me if I wear my corduroy pants?
Are you going to wear a scarf?
It depends on how cold it is that day.
If you wear a scarf, I probably will make a joke or two.
Why?
Because
keeps your neck warm.
You look beautiful in a scarf.
Oh, good God, that's...
Exactly.
Please make fun of me. Don't say anything like that ever again.
I'll be screaming out, hey, look at this beautiful guy in the scarf!
No.
Yeah.
No, please don't.
And throwing candy. Hey, that guy with the scarf hit me with a piece of candy. Throws like a girl.
Throws like a girl? You've never seen me throw anything.
Just assuming guy with a scarf is generally going to throw like a girl.
Well, fine. Fine. Be that
There
way.
we are.
So this part of the program brought to you again by Dillon Rings. Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings are ready to help you as a full-service jewelry shop. With Christmas only 2.5 weeks away.
Ooh, you better get over there, man.
They've got great stocking stuffers, very affordable things, like $40-$45 to high-end, top-of-the-line items. Maybe you're popping the big question for this holiday. Maybe your Christmas gift is to go in and have a custom design jewelry piece done by Josh there at Dillon Rings. A project, say, you and the lady are working on together. Or it could be ladies, you're getting something done for the gentleman.
Could be.
But you got to get in there, especially to get these great Christmas discounts that they have on all sorts of different items. They're showcasing their bands today, all sorts of different bands.
Pretty.
Absolutely. And, of course, they can also do things like spa treatments. So maybe you got an older piece of jewelry you want to represent on Christmas. Make it shine and shimmer like it's brand new. Repair work, of course, as I mentioned, custom design. They really do it all there at Dillon Rings. Like I said, full-service jewelry shop. So check them out today. You can always search for Dillon Rings on the Book of Faces or Instagram or go to DillonRings.com. But I encourage you to stop by, see them in person. 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man, Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Is your business feeling the heat of cyber attacks? Tired of worrying about ransomware, data breaches, downtime, and employee mistakes? GTI Managed IT Solutions has been your trusted partner since 1999, safeguarding and supporting businesses like yours from the ever-evolving threats in the digital world. GTI, your peace of mind is guaranteed. Call us today at 819-4650 or visit gtinow.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. (272-9228) if you want to get in on the conversation. That's 334-272-9228. Also seeing a new report here by Erica Thomas, who we talked to at the top of the show. Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth. Here's the headline, Eddie.
Okay.
People promoting gender ideology in children nuttier than a Christmas fruitcake.
Cannot argue with that.
And he was reacting to a segment on CNN where an ACLU lawyer says that 2-year-olds know they're trans, so it's all right to castrate them. I mean, that's the commentary around that. But Ainsworth went on to say, this is absolutely insane. I will do everything in my power to stop this and to protect children from these sick people. This is child abuse, and they deserve prison time for what they're doing to these children.
How's it not child abuse? How is it not, man?
Let's go to the phones and talk to. Oh, we got Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Talking about children. Hey, I'm gonna be driving the library float tomorrow, so look for us. We're in Section E, so we're on the tail end of the deal.
Are you giving out books?
Nope. Candy. That was
candy's good. I'll take candy.
Yeah. We're I got all my old Christmas candy from last year.
That's what I was worried about, Ray. Just what I was worried about. Thrifty Ray there.
You know what I always love doing when I get to go to a parade and sit and watch, which is not often, is go get a bag of candy.
Yeah.
And throw it back at the people.
It confuses people, Ray. It's very confusing because I think I've been on that parade where you've done that, Ray. It's very confusing when candy gets thrown back. I thought, is the candy no good or something? What's going on?
It's good reason.
No, they don't look at it. Everybody's like, wait a minute, it's coming back at us. What's going on? Get a bag and try it. It's a lot of fun. It was the one year I was on the council parade, and we had these lollipops, and I talked to the entire council because Mayor Gillespie was in front of us on his little golf cart, that for every time we hit him with one, it was 5 points.
I love, by the way, how you said on his little golf cart.
So we're all of us are just, and he didn't know what was going on. He just knew these lollipops were flying by his hand, and he kept getting hit by them. And Stephanie was on there with him, and it was like, now if you hit Stephanie, that's a -5.
Yeah, there you go. That's a negative. That's right.
That was a lot of fun. So, but yeah, look for us tomorrow night. We'll be in the parade if y'all are down there. And if you need floors, call us 285-8117. We'll come out and give you that free quote as soon as you call us.
Appreciate it, Ray.
Take care, Ray.
All right.
Merry
Thanks,
Christmas.
guys.
He's got that extra hard candy because it's from last year.
Again, that number, 285-8117, and be sure to tell him Merry Christmas when you call 285-8117, or you could do it this way,
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
And then be sure to say that's from Joey and Eddie.
That's right.
We heard Ray on the radio with those two guys. Oh, we got another call coming in here. Hello, you're on there. Who's this?
This is Poison Ivy over here at the mansion. How y'all doing?
Doing wonderful. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing just fine. I just wanted to make an announcement from over here at the mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember Patricia T, that used to be the legislator that moved to Florida?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we wanted to make clear that any allusions to anybody over here at the mansion being on that parade float in Prattville were absolutely untrue, and that the Trump's Secretary of State pick was not going to be on that either. So just make that clear to all the listeners, and y'all have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much.
Wait, someone suggesting Rubio's lighting his loafers? I didn't see that. I mean, I don't like.
You know how short guys are. They get the bad rap. Like today, that story that Erica showed us with that girl that busted through the gate.
Mm-hmm.
You hadn't realized she's taller than you. She's standing against the wall. She's like 5'8".
I'm taller than 5'8". And even if I was like 5'6",
yeah,
I'd be a short king.
Oh, I know. There's no doubt.
Be short, but I'd be a king.
No doubt. I think you would wear lifts, but not the kind anybody can see.
No, you got to wear them proudly.
Really?
Yeah, like heels. I don't care if you end up with hip problems and a fentanyl addiction.
I hear you, pimp.
While your state fights over all your legacy. Thank you again for calling me short.
I didn't call you short. I'm giving you compliments.
No,
you're taller.
No, you're not.
Did I say you were taller than her?
No, you said she was taller than me. Anyway, what did we learn anything at all today?
We learned about that earthquake, which
no tsunami.
No tsunami, yeah. And we learned about the Santa Drop 24. That's going to be pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
You're going to drop in the Santa Claus in over Prattville this weekend. I think that's pretty cool.
That'll be Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Grinch is right behind him.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
That's real cool. Just go to SantaDrop24.com, folks,
yeah.
To learn more about that. We learned that we'll be in the Millbrook.
That's right, Millbrook Parade. That's exactly right.
Yeah. And that'll be on Saturday.
2 o'clock starts?
Yes. So it'll be after the Santa Drop.
Oh, it will be.
Right.
I got to make some plans. change some things around here.
We learned today, again, that Bitcoin is the future.
Yes, and it's growing.
Yeah.
Had a
it's
great
pretty
night.
Beautiful.
Now, off the top of your head, what makes it climb that quick and then drop that quick overnight? Is there any kind of trigger points for Bitcoin that I can look for that you know of?
No, I wouldn't try to play that game.
No.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of the average amount of time somebody holds it is 100 days, which is way too short.
I did not know that.
No, but what happens is there are a lot of folks who got near 100K and they're like, cash out.
Right.
And then what's happening is there's so much hope and so many bulls out there now. As soon as it got down near 93,000 of Bitcoin, it shot back up. So I think it's right now the 40% plus increase since election day is about the politics of this and the incoming administration. And Trump keeps making decisions and picks that really bode well. Like it got near 104K, Bitcoin did, just as Trump announced a new SEC chairman. So, people are happy about just the future. And of course it can be very volatile. That's why, again, I think of it as like a 4-year, a 5-year, a 10-year investment.
Yeah, definitely long-termer.
See, this is on one before we get out of here. Hello, you're on there. Who's this?
Hey, JoJo, it's Woody.
Hey, Woody, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Oh, hanging in here like a hair in a biscuit.
You around the neighborhood in that white truck of yours?
No, I was on my bicycle. You almost hit me the other day. Drive like a bat out of hell.
Oh, I saw you.
Yeah.
I know.
It was a miss. Swing and a miss is what it was.
Hey, I think that tsunami, that'd be a good way to clean up San Francisco. Just.
It would be a big toilet flush, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
That's the one city I think that's got the app, the poop app, where. Yeah.
That would be God. That'd be God cleaning it up, right?
Yeah,
there.
it would be.
All right, love y'all. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Woody. See you, brother.
So, I guess we can get out of here now.
Let's go.
Yeah, I don't know. The holiday season, since Thanksgiving, it's just my give a damn's broken. And I think a good way.
Yep.
But yeah, you're feeling it too. It's not just me. Good. Well, y'all stay tuned because Happy Hour with Greg Budell. Greg, Rosie, who's on with them Thursdays?
Vespian?
Maybe. I don't know. Greg and Rosie for sure, though. Happy Hour. They're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A strong earthquake felt widely across Northern California, striking west of Ferndale, a small city in coastal Humboldt County near the Oregon border. A tsunami warning issued but has since been canceled. A gunman still at large, a manhunt underway. United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson died in a dawn ambush on Wednesday as he walked to the company's annual investor conference at a Hilton in Midtown. 8 members of the OPEC Plus alliance of oil exporting countries. They have decided to put off increasing oil production as they face weaker than expected demand and competing production from non-allied countries. These are factors that could help keep oil prices stagnant into next year. The Dow dropping 212 points. The NASDAQ composite is down 8. This is SRN News.
Trump's victory is just the first battle. The deep state stranglehold on our economy took 50 years to build, and they won't let it go without fighting. The damage runs deeper than most Americans realize. A corrupt monetary system, a national debt exploding beyond control, a crumbling dollar. The deep state spent 50 years rigging our system. Now their economic time bomb is nearly unstoppable. Hi, this is Stephen K. Bennett. I'm here to remind you, you are not powerless. Throughout history, gold has been a safe haven from economic corruption. My trusted allies at Birch Gold Group know this. That's why they help Americans diversify their IRAs and 401ks into gold. To see how it works, get a free info kit on gold IRAs. Text the word PREPARE to 989898 right now. Don't let 50 years of